That's Andrew Stockdale from Wolfmother with the Joker and the Thief, supported by the Queensland Symphony Orchestra. And I tell you what, after some very, very, well, timid music prior to, finally we got something to get us rocking and get us into the field. There's somebody, a fairly good point on the KFC Twitter, only booked Stadium acts to play stadiums. Wolfmother are a stadium act, and we get people who want to get rocking because it's a game of football. It's a grand final.
Let the baker bake the bread.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're not too far away from bounce, 20 minutes away. So the umpires are about to join us on the arena, and the match footballs will be delivered.
Who are the umpires, Kingy?
So tonight, Matt Stevic will control his 8th grand final.
What, no Razor Ray?
Well, after being dropped for a semi-final, or following a semi-final, Simon Meredith in his 5th grand final, and Craig Fleer, who will have the honour of, I suspect now, throwing it up rather than bouncing it, is controlling his 1st grand final.
Okay, that's good.
Wendy's joined us on the line. Hello, Wendy.
Oh, Wendy.
Hello, guys. I just want to say thanks for a fabulous year of broadcasting for all of us who haven't been able to see any of the footy, but here we go tonight, and I reckon we're going to win by 11 points.
11 points, Wendy. We'll take that. We'll take anything that is in favour of the Cats.
Yeah. Good luck, Wendy. You confident?
Yeah, sort of. I don't know about the rain. Don't think we need that, do you?
No, I don't know. Well, let's hope in about 3 hours I'll be able to tell you, Wendy. But thanks for your support this year. It's much appreciated.
Are you knitting tonight while watching, Wendy?
I'm taking orders if we win, as many as you like.
Oh, God. You'll spend all summer doing that, Wendy, if they win.
Okay. Wendy, thank you. I appreciate it. I can guarantee one thing.
Wendy gets a party pack?
No. Late July next year, guess what? The maternity wards at Geelong Hospital, St John of God, the Epworth in Geelong are going to be very busy because there always seems to be a spike around a Geelong grand final.
Is that have the Bureau of Statistics actually confirmed that that's the case?
It's data.
So what you're saying is that people, if the Cats win the flag, they get a little amorous, do they?
They do.
What, and they get in their little charger?
Yeah, so you will find that in June, the Junes of 08, 10 and 12 will have had probably a spike.
Do you know this has happened, or are you made this up?
No, it's legit.
Unless, of course, they've pre-ordered with Wendy.
Yes, and then you can cut that off at the pass if you've pre-ordered your knitted
club issue.
No, Benny, no. We're moving right along. Wendy threw us under the bus earlier in the season.
That's exciting then. So what you're saying is that
there'll be a baby boom in 9 months. If the Cats
outrageous behaviour, okay.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So,
as your Twitter going, my personal KFC Twitter over here is going gangbusters with people sending in pictures of their lounge room while listening to K-Rock pre-game. The amount of Geelong stuff getting around in the lounge rooms of this great city is phenomenal. So, Ben, see if you can get people to perhaps on the official K-Rock Twitter
at K-Rock Football,
instead of using my personal KFC Twitter.
The Cats are out.
Great.
The Cats are out, led by Captain Joel Selwood, who captains Geelong for the 200th time tonight, Benny. A wonderful achievement to lead a football club on that many occasions. And if he rolls into season 2021 as skipper and without any real issues, and Geelong were to get this deep next year, he'll go very close to the record, of course. Stephen Kernahan, 226 games. He's only the 6th player in history to captain his club 200 times.
Just off the KFC 22, Paul Murphy has put a picture up. It looks like it's have to be in Europe somewhere, wouldn't it? He's got the Cats.
The sun's out, so
on the veranda. It looks like a lovely setting there. I'd say it's Italy or France or somewhere. He might be able to tell us where he's actually listening. So he's got the scarf. The Cat scarf is out on the balcony. The sun is shining wherever he is. It looks fantastic. Cat fans are absolutely up and about on the KFC 20 Kingy. They are waiting for the baby boom in about 3 hours. Some people have actually just, after you've said that, they've just sort of stuffed the footy. I don't care where's the footy.
Harry Taylor tonight playing his 31st final, which will take him to equal 5th all-time for finals. Joel Selwood, his 34th. He sits 3rd behind Michael Tuck and Sean Bergen. I think it was Alan who joined us on the line. Alan, thanks for your call.
No, you're all right, mate. How are you doing tonight, mate?
Ask me in 3 hours.
Yeah. I'm just ringing up to say good day to you guys. And that, I was playing footy with Michael Cole down there in North Warrnambool.
The great 37.
Yes, and his brother Nigel Cole, down there at Melbourne. I played with Dean Smith, Goober, down there as well. And young Jared Rook, he went on and played with you guys as well, number 44.
Played at Casterton, Maxie Rook.
He did?
Yeah, that's right. He played for Casterton. I played down there as well, down there at Casterton Cats as well, under Justin Munro.
Brilliant.
And he was the coach down there in 2000. Yeah, so in the Western Border League. That's not too bad.
Good work. Hey, Alan, appreciate your call. Richmond about to make their way out, so we'll leave you. Appreciate your call. Enjoy the call tonight, and hopefully the Cats are in front come around 10 o'clock this evening. Trent Cotchin now about to lead the Tigers out on to the Gabba. We never thought we'd be saying that. Two grand final teams running onto the home of football in Brisbane, but that is what 2020 has thrown at us.
Just tell you too, Kingy, I mentioned each week the bench is really immaterial, I suppose, in footy, but I have a feeling Geelong may have started with these 4 players on the bench last week. So Buse, Ablett, in his final game for the Cats, Parfitt and Tui will start on the bench for Geelong. Gives you some idea, Neil, probably who is likely to start in the middle. For the Tigers, Asprey, the second ruckman/defender, Rioli, Graham and Short will start on the pine for the Richmond Footy Club.
Good work there, Benny. Jed Buse during the week picked up his first Brownlow medal vote in what was his 94th game. So
is that right?
Good to see Busey polling a vote. It's very rare that defenders poll votes these days. The traditional team photo that's taken in colour, they've needed Glenn Ferguson from the Addies Flash.
Yeah, they did
to light that one up. So that becomes the official premiership photo. Traditionally, the clubs now. In the old days, we go back to the club and they'd organise a day and out in the ground with the cup. But now they take the one taken out on the ground with the coach and the players. So the smoke is creating a bit of a haze through the Gabba. The rain looks to have cleared, Benny, which is a good result.
Yes, well, that hopefully dries out and continues to do so. Maybe we might have some much drier conditions in the second half. First half is obviously going to be a little bit slippery. Talking to Patrick Dangerfield, of current players, he is 4th on the list of games played without playing in a grand final, so 268 games. Will you guys be able to tell me who the other 3 current players who are above him on that list? King, you've already seen them. So
I would have got a couple.
Well, one of them is Cade Simpson.
Yeah.
The other one is someone you coached, Neildy.
Yeah, no more information.
Yeah, obviously. You're all over. Bald and played the midfield. Nathan Jones. And the other one plays for Carlton and was a former captain of the club.
Mark Murphy.
Yeah, so those 3 players have played more games than Patrick Dangerfield without playing in a grand final, but Dangerfield obviously breaks that duck tonight in what will be his 269th game.
He snuck to that number very quickly, hasn't he?
Well, not really, because he's on the TV every 3 minutes.
I know, but it just feels like so he's kicked 299 goals. He's looking for his 300th goal tonight. If Gary Ablett can kick 5 goals tonight, he'll be on 450 goals. If he kicks 5 goals tonight, guess what? Geelong have won comfortably.
Yeah, correct.
Geelong have won very, very.
If my mum had plums, she'd be my dad. So, right.
Well, hang on. We're still in the pre-game. You come out with that.
So Paul Murphy, Warrnambool born and bred, living and listening to the Cats from Muscat in Oman.
Was that Paul?
Yeah.
Really?
In Oman?
I said Italy or France. I wasn't far off.
Well, sort of same time zone.
There you go. That's fantastic.
You were a long one.
I bet you Paul's one of the few that'll be listening to the Cats in Oman. I'm not sure who he celebrates with after they get the jockeys. He may just have to go with your theory, King.
He might.
But it's in the middle of the Arvo after this, so hopefully he's right for a bit of a sort of a late afternoon session.
Geelong Insurance Brokers.
Completely out of hand.
Geelong Insurance Brokers head-to-head match-up or match-ups. Neil, you've asked for leeway all year. And, that's a very good point. There's a tweet just come out. He is the brother of, but Alan Christensen announced his retirement during the week, so he becomes the second Cat from 2011 to retire. Travis Barco being the other one in recent weeks, and he wasn't in the retired players. Now, that package may have been done before retirement announced, but failed to be acknowledged after 133 games, although I suspect you might have to play a certain amount of games to be acknowledged.
Yes, you do. I don't know what that number is.
Well,
but again,
Lyndon Dunn and Will Schofield were there,
Lyndon nearly got 200.
And Will was about 194. You might have to be in the 200 club, which they both will have been because they played with their night series or their pre-season and other games. That's by the by, though. Geelong Insurance Brokers head-to-head.
Well, for me, Kingy, I think we're going to look at both forward lines, and it will be the impact that Tom Hawkins and Paddy Dangerfield have on the game versus the impact of Revolt and Lynch. I think it's really, they're the key scoring weapons for both teams, so that's where it's going to happen. And the next one, because there is always leeway. There is always. And it will be, in all seriousness, we have to... It's Dustin Martin versus the rest of the Geelong midfield. That's the way that they play. So Martin, they will roll through. Guthrie's going to roll through him. Passford will roll through him. He'll get a little bit of Selwood at some of the stoppages. So I think what I really want to look at there is... it will really be the clearance count and what happens post the clearance. So we'll talk about that throughout the game.
I did notice during the week they had some heat maps on where Dangerfield and Dustin Martin had been getting the ball in finals.
Yes.
Dangerfield's heat map was basically exclusive forward of centre.
Yep.
And Martin's heat map was predominantly forward of centre, a little bit on ball. But both those players have basically played forward of centre in what you would consider sort of true, more forward line positions in finals.
They have been, and I think they get treated similar in a similar vein by their coaching groups. We know that Richmond have a specific defensive system, and we know that Geelong have a specific game plan, in particular the way they move the footy. But those two guys, you would say clearly, they're offensive weapons. They'll defend when the ball is in their vicinity, and they're both very good at tackling if someone's sort of near them. They're not getting back and filling holes. They're not rounding up the troops to get into defensive systems. They're your Rolls-Royce offensive players. They're dynamic players, and they both just go. So if both teams, if you can get a Dangerfield, the Cats will be looking for exactly that. If he has the bulk of his possessions in the front half, they're a huge chance.
Cam Johnston, who's punting still, Benny, with the Philly Eagles.
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah. Love the look of a night grand final. He's tweeted, #Geelong strong.
Yes. Well, his team had a win the other night, came from behind to beat the Giants.
Okay. So we're not too far away from bounce, just 8 minutes away now. The Premiership Cup will be delivered shortly. So we're looking at for Geelong Insurance Brokers, who've been covering Geelong for 26
Where's
years.
it being delivered from?
Well, it's been in the possession of Simon.
Australia Post.
Well, no,
mightn't turn up till next week.
I was in the car. No, they're delivering watches to everyone.
Simon Black.
Not in that car.
Oh, wow.
I could go political, but
No, you're not. We're about to bounce 8 minutes away from a grand final. Simon Black's been in possession of the cup for the final series, and he will be dropping it off.
What's he been doing with it?
Well, he's been
for the entire final
took
series.
it around Queensland. They had an ambassador tour, and he took the Premiership Cup to Cairns and Townsville, and I think it might have gone out to Mount Isa.
Right.
So it's been all over the place in the Sunshine State. So he will hand it over to... I'm not sure. Ash Barty and Ian Nankervis, of course, the great Ian Nankervis from Barwon. 325 games he played, captain the Cats. 12-time Vic representative too was the great Ian Nankervis.
KFC Twitter, Cats 2007, who's been with us all year, has put a picture up of, I think, the families on the couch with the dog Pepper.
Fantastic.
And the dog has the scarf on and saying that through all the seriousness, she will run for her life as soon as I start barracking. So Pepper is looking a little sedate on the couch, but that's likely to change in around about 8 minutes' time.
Good work for Cats 2007 on Twitter. Thanks to KFC. And, I tell you what, the popcorn chicken slab has got a hiding here tonight. Only $10.95. Get into KFC today and grab a popcorn chicken slab. $10.95, as I said. All right, gentlemen, before we get into the formalities of the evening, let's go around the panel for your tips this evening. Neil, I want your winner, margin, first goal kicker, and Norm Smith, please.
Cats 7 points. First goal kicker Ablett, and Norm Smith Hawkins.
Benny.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I have to tip the Cats, Kingy. The Cats by 17 points, and I am going to tip that Mitch Duncan will win the Norm Smith medal.
First goal.
And the first goal will be kicked by Brian Myers.
Davey Collins has been here since 1992.
I'm going for the fairy tale. Geelong the win by 12. Gary Ablett to kick the first goal. Norm Smith, Jay Selwood.
Oh, the skipper to win the Norm Smith. For what it's worth, as I did in the paper, I have tipped the Cats by 17 points. My first goal kicker will be Jake Kolajasny.
Oh, please.
And my Norm Smith medalist is Cam Guthrie.
So here's the Premiership Cup being delivered on a surfboard. And then Simon Black is doing a lap around the Gabba. What a wonderful player Simon Black was. So he's waving to the crowd. He's got a lovely pink tie on too. And so they've got the
Surf Lifesavers with their
decked out in their yellow and red kit. They've got, it's like is that Mark Ocolupo's old board? They've got that on there, a bit of a big polystyrene.
Well, that's not your surfboard. That's the rescue ski that they use.
I was sort of extracting the Michael there, Kingy. I wasn't exactly being serious. So Simon Black is taking the cup off the surfboard and is delivering it into the middle. Ian Ned Purvis is on.
Guys.
And why is Ash Barty in there for? What's she got to do with the Richmond footy?
She's the number one ticket holder of the AFLW team at the Tigers.
Right.
Great scenes with Ian Nankervis. The only thing Ian Nankervis is worried about is Peter Bosusto sneaking him up on him and trying to smother him.
Yes. Good player, Ian Nankervis.
He was a superstar. 2 preliminary finals. He couldn't get to the last Saturday in September. 325.
325 games. That's a pretty good effort, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Outstanding effort.
Debuted in 1967, retired in 1983. He's been living in Maroochydore for 30 years. But it is time now for the pre-game ceremony. Let's go to the ground announcer.
And join with Tim McCallum, who's accompanied by the Queensland Symphony Orchestra for the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare.
Geelong, born and raised, Tim McCallum, living a lifelong dream and singing the national anthem before the 2020 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Players will break to either end of the ground. The Cats have gone to the right of your screen, the Tigers to the left of your K-Rock radio, and this first quarter is not too far away. Chris Scott with a fist bump on Damien Hardwick. A nice exchange there as both coaches head for their respective coaches' boxes, and we're not too far away from bounce.
Oh, look, it's gone a little bit pear-shaped, this long pre-game, hasn't it?
Well, keeping you under control is not the easiest thing, and I really wish when they asked me to do this job that I took that into account. So Trent Cotchin and Joel Selwood to head to the middle of the Gabba. Feels weird saying it. They will meet with the umpires where the florin will be flipped.
Face this way. Come over here.
So there will be a very quick photo.
Joel, your call.
So we've got a
Heads.
Local from Queensland AFL flipping the florin right in the middle of the Gabba. Call is tails from Joel Selwood, and the toss has been won by Trent Cotchin, who will kick. So it's a specially minted coin for the AFL grand finals, not just your 20-cent piece out of the umpire's back pocket. There's an actual coin with heads and tails written on it, and Trent Cotchin has won the toss and will kick to the left of your K-Rock radio. South Point Garden Supplies. Ash and the team have been with us all year at South Point Garden Supplies, 15 Boneyards Avenue in Torquay, just behind the Bunnings. Looks like the rain has stopped, and we will hopefully, looking at the radar, get a fairly clear night in terms of precipitation, and the only thing we'll have to worry about is potentially some slipperiness on the deck. So the Cats in a very tight huddle just inside the forward line at the right-hand end of the ground, the end that they will kick to. They have broken now, and the players will head to position. This is where, Mark Neal, you get to work and you earn your dollars. The Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups.
Look like Dangerfield, obviously, he's going to start forward for the Cats there. I don't think he was heading into the midfield, so...
Yeah, correct. He'll go forward. He'll be with Hawkins. Look, the Cats will be looking to hands on the footy, win the contested ball, go real quick, go up the middle of the ground. The forwards will need to isolate. That's the way you get on top of the Richmond defensive system. They like to come together. They don't like one-on-ones against them in the back 50. That's what we'll be looking for. You'd expect, Bolter will go to Hawkins. We understand that. Dusty's the middle of the ground. One of his opponent at the moment looks like Selwood sort of going near him. And down the other end, you would look for, obviously, Henderson and Taylor. They'll get Lynch and Revolt.
So first quarter for Signature Homes. If you're thinking of building, have a conversation with Signature Homes. Joel Selwood and Dustin Martin finding themselves as partners in crime in the middle.
Terrific matchups in there. Got Duncan in there next to Cotchin. That's another good one. Guthrie is the other player with Prestia.
First bounce, here's Benny.
So Stanley, first tap, first kick to the skipper Selwood. Towards half forward, slippery ball. Simpson met hard. Guthrie, clean hands. He was dispossessed though. Broad's in there, tackled by Dalhouse. I don't think that ball's coming out. Interesting, Neody. Richmond starting with Martin in the middle. Cats opting with Dangerfield up forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Dangerfield, he started right on that inlet square line, or as close as you can get to that square line, so not deep at the moment.
So off the ground went Cotchin towards the wing. Slippery pill. Bolton hacked it forward, gained valuable metres towards half forward. Taylor in front of Lynch, sees it out. And Edwards wanted deliberate, and the umpire said no, throw it in. So basically true centre wing. We'll get some Wombat.
You got Taylor to Lynch at the moment, Ben, for one.
So Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups. The game will settle in the coming minutes. Stanley up against Nankervis.
Stanley from behind winning the tap down. Selwood hands on the footy, dumped in a Nankervis tackle, and just forward to the outer side logo, a ball up.
Really good start by Selwood. He's got his hands on the two first clearances, and he's still opposed to Martin.
Umpire tosses it up again. Umpire Fleer in his first grand final. Nankervis the tap. Then Stanley had a palm. Nice little touchdown from Guthrie to Selwood. He kicks on his left, but he's put it out on the full at left half forward. So any matchups defensively you've been able to pick up, obviously Taylor to Lynch. The obvious looks like Henry to Castagna.
Yeah, correct. I've gone the other one. Had a look. Broad is the one that's running with Dangerfield at the moment.
Henderson with Revolt. Talking about Nathan Broad. Has got it at right half-back, drives it to the outer wing. Taylor and Lynch. Lynch just wanted to knock it on, but O'Connor was out the back. And the Irishman from Dingle on the bounce to Guthrie had a fumble. O'Connor had to come and help him out. Didn't have the footy. It's knocked away into the path of Edwards. Socketed off the ground. Great pick up, Henry. And he just jammed it on the boot towards half-back. Taken by Dalhouse. Tackle of Voston was good. Dalhouse got a kick away as he was dumped. Prestia tries to keep it alive at the boundary line. Step past Simpson. Handball back to Cotchin. No, it was out of bounds. We'll get a boundary throw in. So the Cats and the Tigers early intent. The ball's going to be on the deck a lot.
It is. We've seen Bolton kick it off the ground a couple of times. He's being picked up by O'Connor at the moment.
So throw in. Nankervis again up against Stanley. Front position to Nankervis. Selwood went off the ground. Ball to the wing. Who coming up to meet it there? Was that Broad, who took the footy and the ball out for a throw in. So scrappy start. It's going to be tight and tough. Wet, slippery conditions for the 2020 grand final at the Gabba. And the ball will be thrown in on the true centre wing. Stanley again behind Nankervis, taken by Edwards. Farms a nice handball. Lambert will sit for him. Throws it on the right peg inside forward 50. Who's enemy to Castagna's got the wheels. Bounced over his head. Henry has been good in this finals, though his hand pass a little hot. Blitzarves comes back to mop up the mess to Henderson. Fancy dancy from Henderson and a long ball to the wing.
He sends it to a one-on-one. Rowan flew, couldn't mark. Revolt, rather Boston, brought it to ground. Handball too hot for Hawley. Will roll towards the boundary line and out for a boundary throw-in just forward to the wing on the broadcast side. Thanks to Warralilly, live in Geelong's most awarded community.
At the moment, Blitzarves is on the wing. He's being picked up by Pickett. Pickett's really really keeping his width and really teasing. He doesn't want blitz-halves to get too close to that contest, so that's a really intriguing battle of strategy at the moment.
Stanley and Curvis down to the front. Head over at Selwood, couldn't take it. Cochin's little dribble kick went about 10 metres, but only as far as Guthrie to a one-on-one. Well done, Bolter, worked Hawkins off it, then just sock it off the ground for space, and we've got a foot race now. O'Connor will be first there. Bolton nudged him off it. Umpire said play on. Baker was clean with the pickup. Handball released to McIntosh. Dragged down by Rowan, but got a kick away. Rolling ball. Taylor will be first there. Just had to get it up to a teammate, did. Or Myers will get a free kick taken high. Or will it come back as a throw? Take your pick, which is it? It's going to come to Myers. So, high Myers. Although you could argue that Taylor scooped that.
Was first, yeah, absolutely you could.
So the free kick's with Brian Myers, who's near the interchange gates out of side, Benny.
So Myers darts a ball inboard. It's okay. He's got Colin Jasny now. He comes into the middle. It's a little risky. Henry has to work over his head. Blitzarves comes through, mops up the mess. Great tackle though by Rewalt. Ball spills for the Tigers. Pickett's got it. Throws it on the right peg. A high ball. No one there though. Henderson the only man there. And he marks and actually can waltz away and send the Cats into attack.
He sends it long looking for Simpson. Ball got out the back. Floston will be first there. Knocked away by Dangerfield. Took Floston. Here's Ablett. Good pick up. Then a handball release to Blitzarves. He's taken in a three-man Tiger tackle. Ablett saw, and it's a shoulder, and Vloston's out for the count. So you got Ablett down clutching a shoulder, and Vloston, who copped a full brute of Dangerfield. So, that could be it for Gary. You would suspect that shoulder's been popped, and that will be night over, and that's not way game 357 and his last was supposed to end for St John of God. And you would think that Nick Vloston's night might be over too, Nearly.
Absolutely. Well, that was a big collision with Paddy Dangerfield. You think both those players are in strife.
So Gary Ablett is being escorted off the ground. Looks like Dr. Jeff Allen is the man helping him off. And the last time we see Gary Ablett is a handball out towards a teammate. And Gary, unless they can do something with the shoulder, won't be seen again in his final game. A tragedy in football. The Gary Ablett season and career will end this way. We can only hope he can come back. They can find a way. But Nick Vloston's now the actual concern. Gary Ablett's up and moving. And he's grabbing, is it a shoulder or he's grabbing at a wrist?
Yeah, no, well, that's what you do. If your shoulder pops out, you grab the wrist to just get some stability.
So for St John of God, but right now Nick Vloston's the other concern. He's copped the full force of Patrick Dangerfield coming out for the footy. And what's actually probably exacerbated that, Neildy, is that Vloston's head has hit the turf unprotected.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, start of the grand final, we didn't see that coming. A couple of injuries. While we just get back to the footy for a minute, for me, as you let the listeners know the boys will be okay, the intent of the Cats to go quick, and they're trying to use the middle of the ground, so that's good from a game style point of view. But what we're seeing here is not good with Nick Vloston being helped on.
So Vloston, they haven't even got into the recovery position yet. He's still lying on his stomach, the last vision we had. So we now wait for the medical staff to tend to Nick Vloston, and one of the stars of the Richmond side this year, an All-Australian squad member, two-time premiership player. That will be a blow down back for the way they set up.
Oh, absolutely. Nick Vloston, he is an integral part of that back six. And Ben mentioned earlier in the pre-game, he is one of those players that gets across to be third across. He's a high intercept possession player and really important to the way they set up their attack.
So Vloston is still being tended to. They're taking all care, as you do, with concussion and, of course, supporting the neck. He's on the stretcher now, and they will put him onto the Medicab. So doctors, trainers, physios all around him. Nothing untoward from Patrick Dangerfield looking at the vision again, Neildy?
No, not at all. Not all. He gets hit in the face with Paddy's forearm, but in defence of that, the ball was there first, and Paddy puts his arm out and punches the ball, trying to get it to a teammate, but he does run into his arm, but it is an accident.
Yeah, so there was no way that Paddy could get his arm out of the way after fisting the ball away. So I suspect the match review officer will look at this post-grand final, but I don't think there's much more Patrick Dangerfield could do, and Nick Vloston just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Both players, eyes for the footy, and they attack it hard. They're both hard ball players, hard contested ball players.
Now we become a 21 v 21 game, I suspect, Neildy. Nick Vloston definitely won't be back.
Cats have lost a half forward, and the Tigers lost a half back. So it's in that aspect.
I assume with that the shoulder for Ablett, there's nothing, we don't know obviously the severity, but is there anything that can be done for that given there's no next week.
Strap it up and jab it and see if you can move it. First of all, they need to get it back in. If it's popped out, you'd like to think it's popped back in. If not, Jeff Allen's got to go to work, get it in there. He's never playing again. They will try everything. They'll jab it with everything they've got in the medical room.
You just have to think, I mean, Lawson's certainly not coming back, you would have thought, watching this vision now. He has been out for quite some time.
Yeah, correct.
So we've seen some movement from Nick Loston, and that's a good sign. The neck collar is around him. He's on the Medicab now and he's about to be taken from the ground. So we've had a significant delay in play here, Benny. 4:31 is when the clock stopped, but the clock keeps running.
Heading towards nearly 4.5 minutes now, Kingy. We're nearly at 9 minutes of game time.
So it was a Cochin tackle on Gary Ablett, and it's his right shoulder. Or is it his left? No, it's his left, sorry. He's landed, yeah.
When he hits the ground.
So I'm just trying to remember. He wore shoulder strapping for a while. I'm just trying to remember the one that he initially injured in that tackle by Brent McCaffrey all those years ago while playing for the Suns. That gave him grief for a couple of years before he returned to Geelong. So Nick Loston now coming off on the Medicab as the crowd acknowledges his efforts. And unfortunately for Nick Loston, he may not have too much memory of Grand Final 2020, and he's so actually resigned to his fate that he started unstrapping his wrist and thumb strapping off his left hand as he comes from the ground. So he will hope that his 21 mates can make him a 3-time premiership player, and he does get a roar from the Richmond faithful. You would suspect as a well-followed club they will have majority support at the Gabba, but the Cats not without their own numbers as well. So play will just about resume. They'll get off the Medicab, Nick Loston, and down the race into the Richmond rooms, but until they do that and get the Medicab off the ground, play can't resume. So we tick towards 6 or 7 minutes of stoppage time, and you don't expect that after only playing 4 minutes in a grand final, Neildy.
No, you certainly don't. It's just a reminder, look, how hard this game of football is and how hard the players do go in the one passage of play through severe injuries.
So thoughts with Nick Loston, and hope he's okay, but we don't think we'll see him again. And the big question is, what can they do for Gary Ablett to potentially get him back in his final game of football? We've seen Gary for the last time. KROC 955, AFL.com.au and the AFL apps, where you're listening to KROC football across the world. Grand Final night 2020. Umpire will restart play just 4 to the wing for the Cats. Broadcast side, thanks to Warralilly, our number 1 ticket holder, live in Geelong's most awarded community. Right now, Graham's the man standing next to Selwood for Wombat Gully.
So Martin's gone forward. Colin Jasney's got him in it, and now at the restart.
We've actually had more stoppage time. They've actually had game time now. It's heading towards 7 minutes since these incidents first took place. And
just casts a pall over the grand final, unfortunately, doesn't it?
It does.
So Vlauston has already been ruled out on the stat sheet. The club have obviously indicated to
Interchange Stewart,
that he will not be returning for this game. Ablett is obviously showing as injured, but the Cats have yet to run up that white flag on Gary Ablett just yet.
Well, they'll do everything they can. Hopefully Dr. Jeff Allen can do some of his finest work and maybe get the little master back out on the field at some stage. Wouldn't that be inspirational for the Cats to see the 36-year-old in his final game back out in the field of battle? Just waiting for umpire Meredith to restart us. And they're just waiting for the Medicab to go off the field of play.
So when we do restart, King, it will be a throw-up, basically on the point of the square. It's been that long since.
And it is thrown up now. Benny, get us underway again.
So Blitzarves taps it down. Menegola goes in, tries to slap it to Blitzarves. He picks it up, kicks a high ball. Deep inside forward, 50 Hawkins. Bolter kept his eye on the pill. He did well. Myers smothered the kick though. Hawley's in there. Parfitt went off the ground. Broad. He's kicked towards the boundary. Taken by Lambert. Quick give to Pickett. Pickett handball to himself. A bit of KB sort of style there. But the ball bounced skew if it was a Mooley-Doolery sort of arrangement. And it went off to the right and off to the left and out for a throw in. 60 around from the Cats' goal. Neither team is yet to score in this one. 12 minutes gone total tools. About 8 of that has been some stoppage time.
Yeah, and Curvis front position against Blitzars. Won the tap down. Front of the pack, Duncan there for the Cats, but Cochin getting a handball away into space for Martin. Fired it back towards Cochin, but he was in pressure, and Duncan got a tackle that forced a turnover. Selwood pushed as he kicked, and then he knocked it away as he scrambled to get it out of the contest area. Colin Jasney was there, couldn't take it, and now pouncing on the footy. He's short with the bounce. A second bounce, left hand, a little bit awkward. Now on his left boot, a high kick that he's going to put out on the full. Is he? Or is he going to flirt with with the boundary line. Either way, Tom Stewart's taken a wonderful diving mark on his knees. A Hamlin hanger contender down low for the Cats early. So the Cats have done well. All the attacking forays nearly so far. The Tigers have been thwarted by the Cats having one back.
They certainly haven't. And I want to talk about the role that Martin's playing when we get a chance, boys.
So down the line, Hawkins' handball was a good one to Dallas, who just had a little fumble. He's going to get done for holding the ball. It's been the one that's probably been out of form for the Cats a little bit, Dallas, and he had a chance there, but he fumbled the hand pass, and then he was done like a dinner. And Richmond will take the free. Cochin puts a high ball towards centre half forward. Lynch gets out the back. Taylor hung on to him. Edwards sweeping through. He just had a little fumble at the inopportune time. Then he had his legs taken out from him. Umpire said play on Henry. Gives to Menegola. Menegola goes with a low squirting ball. Simpson's there for the Cats. So too Hooley, and the ball goes out for a throw in at half forward for the Tigers. Frenetic passage of play, Mark Neal.
So Martin went forward. Kolodjasny's gone to him. He's now playing as the highest forward. He's coming up and inside the stoppage, which is making Kolodjasny play as a midfielder. Be interesting if that starts to have an impact. Geelong will need to see who they can actually get on him, who's a stoppage player.
Mark Neal in the experts chair. Nankervis front position, won the tap down. Ball bobbling at the front of the pack. There's Martin working hard, but Parfitt came and took the footy. Lost it in the tackle. Selwood is taken without the footy by Nankervis, and he'll take it at left half, right half back. Will the skipper.
He's setting the tone, Curtis. It's his fifth touch.
He goes short backwards, and the mark is taken by Duncan. Duncan is going to go back to the top of his defensive goal to Stewart, and they'll look to open up the outer side of the Gabba. He goes wide with a well-weighted kick, although too much on it for Henderson. In the end, he overshot it. Thought he had it nicely weighted, but he's just given it too much oomph as the boy from South Barwon, and Henderson from Birregurra sees it out of bounds.
I like the intent. The Cats, they're trying to move the footy quickly. As soon as Selwood knew that the down-the-line kick was taken, they went very quick to try and get it to the fat side. So great intent at the moment.
Richmond 0, Geelong 0, opening quarter thanks to Signature Homes. Tapped down by Nankervis, hitting it hard. Edwards, a handball release out the back. Castagna dumped as he kicked. The kick went up the chimney towards centre half forward. High ball coming out. Lynch couldn't take it. Menegola was good. A release out the back. Simpson, quick hands. O'Connor's got to be good here. Tried to take on the tackler. Got it to Tui. Tui's found some room and gave it to Menegola. Stepped inside the would-be tackler. Neat little kick's okay. Myers gives it by hand. Duncan, low ball inside 50. Bang on the chest of Hawkins. Great result. And it's in the right forward pocket for the power fade, Benny.
Yeah, we love the power fade, Kingy. We want a grand final power fade. A little stinger back into the breeze, Tiger Woods.
Oh, Menegola with a nice little sidestep, and the delivery to Guthrie. In fact, it was not Myers who gave it to Duncan. And then the kick inside 50 onto the chest of Hawkins was luscious. And onto the full chested, he met it. And this will be great for the confidence if he can kick this one. Tommy Hawkins has kicked 28 goals, 20 from 15 games against the Tigers. Right forward pocket. He'll kick from around 45 metres to set the tone for the Cats. He starts it, he tries to work it back, but he can't work it back enough. And the first score of the evening belongs to the Cats as a minor one. One behind Geelong. Richmond yet to score. 16 minutes gone on the Total Tools time clock, but please take into account we had stoppage time for those injuries for St John of God to Nick Loston and Gary Ablett.
We did. Short plays onto himself, and then he goes long to Dr. Seuss arrangement and off hands, and the ball goes out in front of the Cats interchange. Blitzarves is just getting vision of Lawson walking around in the room, so that's a good sign, but he won't know whether what day it is. I wouldn't have thought. He went down Saka Spud style, so Stanley got it down, though. It was taken by Bolton. Quick give. Chopped off, though. Here's a chance. Guthrie through traffic. He's been good. Outside of the right shoe. Into the pocket. Bolter. Hawkins. Oh, Hawkins! Hawkins, was that a mark? He tries to get it to Rowan. He can't handle the footy. Was that a mark to Hawkins? The umpire might have called play on. He looked to have enough of it, and he tried to flip it over the top. Let's have a look at it. That is a clear mark to Tom Hawkins. Why he didn't try and claim it, I have no idea, but there's a throw-in adjacent to Geelong's behind post.
Let's have a look at the throw-in bin. This is Tom Hawkins going to work.
Hawkins got rid of Nankervis, handball out. Dangerfield went to snap, gave it to Myers, back to Dangerfield under pressure. Handball Tui, and there's going to be a free kick for a push in the back, and Dangerfield's going to have a shot at goal. Jack Graham far from impressed as he's pinged for a free kick after releasing the footy. Let's have a look at the replay. Myers, Dangerfield, quick release, Tui. Gee, not a lot in that, Neildy.
No, there's not much in that at all, Tom. Good set, great work by Hawkins at the boundary throw, and again to get it out. But that is in a grand final. That's a very soft kick.
Brandon Parfitt being looked at right hand, maybe a dislocated finger. Doctor working on that at the moment. Patrick Dangerfield, a chance to kick the Cats first. Prefer him from distance. He'll kick from right on 50. He starts at left, and that is where it stays. So consecutive behinds to the Cats to open the scoring. 1 to Dangerfield, 1 to Hawkins. And on the Total Tools time clock, we've gone 18 minutes as Ablett running the boundary line, Benny.
He is. Cat fans are up and about. They've obviously just drizzled some Lewis water on that shoulder, and he could be back to champ. Long kick in from the Tigers. Selwood fisted towards half forward. Who's there? Lambert, Tui across. Guthrie's been busy. Geelong playing with some ferocity, intensity, Nildy.
Oh, they certainly are, Ben. It's fantastic. You mentioned before about medical staff. My medical daughters they've diagnosed, come up with a treatment plan, and they said to be back by quarter time.
Well, he's working away
under control
with Dr. Jeff. He's getting the balls out there, and he's just trying to limber it all up. Dalhouse kicks it inside forward 50 for the Cats. Taken there by Asprey. Baker at ground level. Off hands. Not much on, so he just dribbles a long ball to the wing. It's bouncing. Who'll be there first? Harry Taylor. And against Lynch, that was like a herd of turtles, those two. And the ball goes off fingertips and out for a throw in just forward of the wing for the Tigers. It looks like Ablett is about to enter the fray again.
Well,
this was at the MCG. He would get the biggest cheer of all time.
Do you expect anything different from the Son of God?
Oh, careful. Careful.
The resurrection boundary throw-in. It's going to get out the back. Simpson through traffic. Handball. Menacol has got to get on the boot. Did. Kicked it to the wing and straight down the throat of a Tiger. Marked there by Short. Short will kick it inside, forward 50. What's he got? He's got Kolajasny against Martin. Kolajasny brought it to ground rather with Bolton. Front of the pack, Rioli, quick release. Graham can give it off. Chance for Prestia to kick the first, and he has. So the Cats, after a couple of opportunities squandered at the other end, and Prestia has snapped the first of the night, and it belongs to the Tigers. 1 straight 6, Richmond, Geelong, 2 behinds in this opening quarter, thanks to Signature Homes. If you're thinking of building, have a conversation with Signature Homes.
Just that goal that then was really caused by that swarming Richmond Little Brigade. Once the ball went inside 50, they were all over it. They made sure that if Geelong were going to rebound it, wasn't coming out with any speed. They kept it in there, got the goal. The initial contest in the air by Bolton, Kolajasny, for all intents and purposes, looked like he might have had an uncontested mark coming up. Bolton, as the little fella, managed to jump and hit the ball down to the front to his smaller forwards, and a really good shot around his body by Dion Prestia.
So the Cats had chances. Hawkins and Dangerfield both missed, and I know it's early in the contest, but you've just got to take them, especially on a night like tonight. Conditions greasy, free ball inside 50. And Dion Prestia becomes the first goal scorer in 2020, and not many would have picked that, Benny.
No, just his third goal of this season, the former Gold Coast Suns. So ball back in the middle. Good bounce by the umpire, Stanley. So we're trying to grab it. Dangerfield into the middle, slaps it forward. Only as far as Castagna, though. His hand pass tried to get it to Martin. Intercepting that was Simpson, who's immediately tackled. And the umpire says, throw it, give it to me. I'll chuck it up again. Still inside the centre square. Stanley again. Moved his man off it. Guthrie had a little fumble. Martin, he didn't, through traffic. Some fancy dancing around Dangerfield. He goes to half forward. Good spoil by Taylor on Lynch. Ball hits the ground, taken by Buse. He needs some support. Blitzards is there. Handballs hurriedly to Stanley. Stanley handball, hot potato style to Taylor. And it was taken though by Martin into the middle. The Tigers are off again. Baker, he'll handball to McIntosh. McIntosh from 50. McIntosh drills a long, long goal. And Richmond have kicked 2 in 2 minutes. Cats playing hot potato on the wing. Stanley, not sure why he was handballing Harry Taylor. And the Cats mucked it up. And the Tigers took full advantage. 2 straight 12. Geelong are 2 behinds.
Was Taylor being held?
Maybe, not sure. Possibly, but poor decision to handball to the ball. If he was being held, it's poor. If not, as Gary Ablett re-enters the ground to wonderful applause, that's a fantastic effort. Boys, one thing that's causing the Cats concern, Martin's doing the centre bounce, right? So he contests that, then he actually goes forward and then comes up as a high forward. Kolajasny in that situation is not the right matchup. They need to be aware they need someone in there that can take him, that can play around the stoppage. Martin was the player that went up in that position, got the ball, he kicked it back into the middle, and at that stage it's Kolajasny who is actually his opponent. It's a really good move by Damien Hardwick and hard to counteract for Chris Scott.
So 10 points is the margin. Tigers with the early advantage. And you just don't know in these conditions what sort of margin might be irretrievable. Tap down Stanley, coming through but not taking it was Prestia. Off the wing, Blitzarves tried to free the hands, did so, slung in the tackle. Bouncing ball, Dangerfield through 1, through 2, but not through 3. That's holding the ball. Advantage paid, no. Bolton was dragged down by Guthrie as he went to get a kick. Cam Guthrie arguing for advantage as Dangerfield tried to bite off all that he could chew right there. Prestia was the one that bounced off him and knocked the ball out. Kick inside, forward 50. Edwards nearly the uncontested mark. Graham, a handball. Castagna, Rioli. Martin tight in the pocket that he favours. Tight angle, goal square. Menegola forced to defend on McIntosh. That's a juicy matchup for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Neildy on a wing. Menegola and McIntosh, who are both running machines.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And they will both work back deep in defence to help out, as we saw Menegola do on that occasion.
Stewart kicks it long. He wants a man out there, rowing up high, couldn't mark, ground level. Myers sits well for him. Has he got options further afield? His kick's okay. He hits Dalhouse, and Dalhouse has got players this way and that way, but he's forced into a slow play. Not sure what to do. He goes inboard. That's a good kick, though. He hits Parfitt. First touch for Parfitt. He's saying move it quickly, Parfitt, but look at Richmond get back there. So well set up. He goes into the zone. That's a good kick, and Guthrie has marked for the Cats, 49 out. And there's another injury concern. St John of God emergency specialists now up at 24/7. Nathan Broad coming from the field. Not sure what the issue is, but he's being helped off by, he's running now next to a trainer. So
Ben, just some great... The last 2 kicks by the Cats have been nice and flat, not allowing the Richmond defenders to sag off their direct opponent to get across. They've been nice and flat. No way that can be turned into a 2v1 in the air. Let's see how Guthrie goes here. We need this one, Kingy.
He's just kicked the 6 goals. Needs his 7th. He'll kick from outside 50. He's given it a good ride. He's given it a real good ride. The Cats have got their first, thanks to Cam Guthrie. Margin is back to 5. 2-1-13, a settler for the Pussycats. 1-2-8, first term, thanks to Signature Homes. If you're thinking of building, have a conversation with Signature Homes. Gary will be off the chair after that goal from Cam Guthrie.
That's a really good way to describe it, Ben. As a settler, the Cats were on top in general play. They kicked 2 behinds. Richmond, almost against the run of play, you would say, had 2 inside 50s for 2 goals. So that was just the method of play. Their intent's good. They're trying to move the footy quickly, but they're being smart with their kicks. I really like the kick of Dalhouse and then the kick that came into Guthrie from Parfitt. Both sensational kicks.
Parfitt was just prepared to work harder than the Richmond defender.
He was, yes.
That was his first touch, Parfitt. He came off, might have had a dislocated finger.
That was a cracking kick.
He's an important player. Guthrie has started this game really well. He is Geelong. In fact, he is the leading possession winner on the ground. He's had 4 clearances, 6 touches. All 6 have hit the target. Now he's kicked a goal.
14 Brownlow medal votes, Cam Guthrie. He polled more on Sunday night than he polled in the rest of his career.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
He had a fantastic year. Bounce in the middle. Stanley and Nankervis. Stanley, here's Guthrie again doing the roving. Outside of the right boot. Will kick towards forward 50. Ablett in a one-on-one contest. Lays a good tackle on Asprey. Forces a spillage. Simpson on his non-preferred left. Low ball. Bouncing Hawkins. Couldn't take it cleanly. Running onto it short. Taken by Parfitt. Spun in the tackle out of bounds. Boundary thrown. Well, if you wanted to test it for your shoulder, Neildy, you go and lay a tackle. And that's what Ablett did. Laying a good one out there on Asprey.
He certainly did. He's sore too, and also Parfitt in that contest, he's holding his hand, so it's tough early.
You get a boundary throw in, left forward pocket. Hawkins, well, Nankervis still well won the tap. Tui got a shove. Ablett, quick hand out the back. Duncan just fires a handball into the pocket. I don't know what he saw out there, but he's missed the target, and it's out of bounds for a throw in the left forward pocket. He just fired that into no man's land. I'm sure he heard a voice. Was Marlon Pickett calling it?
Well,
and if he was, he missed him too.
Whoever was calling it was not wearing a Geelong jumper.
Ball back into play. Here's Hawkins grabbing it out of the ruck this time. Handball towards Ablett, who just had to palm it away. Ball spills for Tui. It's outside 50. Hughes on his non-preferred left. Low kick. And there might have been a push there on Hawkins. Umpire didn't see it that way. It's over his head and out of bounds for a throw-in. Again, left forward pocket. So the Cats, again, controlling the contest. Richmond inside 50 count, please, Benny, if occurs higher.
So the inside 50 count is 8-6 in favour of the Tigers. They've also laid 18 tackles to 10. Richmond, Geelong are leading the clearance at 12-6.
Oh, Nankervis dangerous into the corridor. He won the tap. Wonderful pick up. Hooley just jammed it on the boot. Fisted away by the Tigers defence. Into the path of Selwood. Released a handball. Hawkins out the side door. Duncan. He'll swing onto his left boot. Wanted to step inside Dusty. Did a 360 pirouette. Underground kick was poor. Hooley. Good. Handball to Cochin. And he launches from defensive 50 to the wing. Bouncing ball gets out the back. Henry playing the sweeper. Gave it to Stewart, who fed a handball over the top. Kick, driving ball, and that's going to be out on the full from Duncan. So Mitch Duncan, just a couple of skill errors from a player that's usually so cool and calm with the footy.
Yeah, he started shakily, Mitch Duncan. So a free kick will go to the Tigers, will go to short. Might have been a head knock for Broad. So keep an eye on that. Down the line, Stanley up, couldn't mark. Sweeping through is Edwards. This looks dangerous. Edwards inside forward 50. Oh, getting back brilliantly, Stewart. Saved a certain goal. Got back with a defensive spoil. Gives to College Asney.
We've got streakers.
Oh, we've got streakers too. It's all happening.
Oh, no, we've got security on the field. So streakers, what idiots.
Well, can it be classified as a streaker when you're fully clothed?
No.
It's not a Helen Domingo sort of arrangement.
So 2 idiots. And they're going to have to... The umpire says they're going to ball it up as a result. So the Cats were actually out with the footy, and what happened was another security member came onto the ground into the path of the footy, or is Tui going to get to hang on to it? I thought the umpire said he's going to have to ball it up, but hopefully sanity prevails and go, well, Geelong had possession of the footy. They shouldn't be penalised from 2 absolute idiots in the crowd.
Just one of the pitfalls of a night grand final, Kingy, when you've been on the brown bubbly suds all afternoon, it gets to game time, you're a little over-refreshed. What is that guy doing?
Well, you'll think he might be a member of the security detail, and he's just finding his way back to his position. And he's
like Ghostbusters. He looks like Ferris Bueller. Like got a vacuum cleaner attached to him. That
Dusty's in for a pit change with a change of boots.
Oh, it's a circus.
Tui short, and the skipper has come up and marked just inside defensive 50. Cats will do well to exit here because Richmond have been able to set up. He flirts with the boundary line, but his short kick is marked by Duncan. So Mitch Duncan has been nervous with the footy.
Very nervous.
He goes across the face of his defensive goal with a well-weighted kick to Stewart, and they'll look to open up the outer side as Stewart makes Henry work and marks on his chest.
So Henry marks and goes down the line. How will the kick sit? Working for him as Tui. It sits, he can't keep it in the field of play. And just those little half chances there, and if that kick's on target, Tui can go. Geelong is suddenly inside forward 50. Instead it was slightly off target, and now we've got a throw in true centre wing.
Oh, nerves are high, and the contest is really tough at the start of this grand final. Broad's back on the ground, gents, for the Tigers.
And Parfitt also showing he's injured again. Might be having problems with that finger.
Cochin a fresh airy. Dangerfield went to go off the ground. Edwards was better. He bought 25 metres for his team, overrunning Castagna. Henry got a block from Taylor. Then they really messed each other up. Henderson has to be good. Here he was. Henry, Taylor ran into trouble. Just got a handball along the line. Can Duncan keep it alive? He will right at the boundary line. No. Just bobbled out as he was trying to burst away. Graham did have him covered, you would suspect. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Just forward of the wing, I suspect, favouring the Tigers. In fact, there's very minimal in it. It's almost true centre wing, and once the umpire flips it back in, it will be. Rebolt doing the ruck work. Stanley won the tap down, front of the pack. Duncan just jammed it on the boot, and it's just too high for Myers. Baker was there. Hooley through traffic. Just fired a handball back inside defensive 50 to Bolter and said, no, you get us out of trouble, with a well-weighted kick onto the chest of McIntosh, who's got it at left half-back, broadcast side for Warralilly.
So McIntosh already kicked a goal. Just dinks it down the line. He's got Broad, who marks. Forced into a slow play, kicks it over the top. And he's got Baker, is it, who marks just basically true centre wing. Baker, really good last week. Pumps a long ball towards the paint of 50. Cat's got 3 plays here. It gets out the back. Stewart mops up again. Rode the butt, was tackled. Dispossessed. Dangerfield. Quick give to Stewart. Tiger fans wanted to throw. Stewart sent a high ball to the wing. Hawkins is there. Asprey gets around Hawkins, and then he's got support in Rewalt on the logo outer side. Puts a squirting ball towards half forward. It's an absolute stink bomb. It was an aromatic sort of arrangement. Straight onto the chest of Tom Stewart.
Tom Stewart started very well, reading the ball well.
Oh, kick off the boot didn't look great, but it's landed on the chest of Myers. I think he meant that, just didn't look good. Myers wants the corridor, needs to be precise, and he is to his ruckman Stanley. Stanley needs to turn and go, and he does, because he's seen Menegola. Has he got enough on it? Broad the spoil. Ablett to wait for the ball. It skidded his boot, and then he's socking it off the ground. Bought 30 metres, deflected off Hooley's boot. Cochin under pressure, got the kick away. Stanley was good. Stretched and marked almost in the middle of the gabba. What's he got? He's got option short. Menegola, one of those. Ablett short. Menegola now sees something in the pocket, sees 2 in the pocket, and one of those is Duncan. It was both Buse and Duncan's got it in the right forward pocket where he can have a shot to give Geelong back the lead in the shadows of quarter time. Mitch Duncan on the chest, eyes darting to the corridor.
The one thing that's really improved with Menegola this year is his kicking. He's really improved his kicking.
It was a well-weighted ball. Tight angle, though, for Mitch Duncan. Game 2-2-3 tonight. He joins Neville Bruns on that number. A tight angle. He works it. He kicks the APCO service station's goal of the night. And he gives the Cats a 1-point advantage going into quarter time. 8 seconds to play. But Mitch Duncan with a very classy finish. A sublime finish from a star player on a big night.
You said that he'd started a bit shakily with some of his disposals. That certainly wasn't. That was a fantastic kick for goal. Ben, you mentioned the kick inside 50 by Menegola was also outstanding, so we've seen a little bit of that. One player in that passage of play that was super important was Stanley. Took 2 grabs in the middle of the ground. He was under pressure for both of those marks. Again, he looked to go with intent, and he did on both occasions. We can see the way that the Cats want to move the footy. So a couple of good special efforts, and also I think Tom Stewart has started this game extremely well.
APCO service stations. Get into your local APCO service station today and win with Team APCO Top Fan this quarter at 33 minutes. He was happy with that, Mitch Duncan. A little bit of Michael Jordan tongue out the side just to work it through. Michael Jordan was very good with the tongue out on court. I wouldn't say Mitch Duncan's in that class, but it's a nice finish. And there's 8 seconds remaining, so you would suspect there won't be another score. Stanley won the tap down, middle of the ground. Edwards, handball over the top. Dusty to pounce, and then hack it out of midair towards half forward or one-on-one. Henry the fist knocks it to the boundary line, and that is quarter time. A dramatic opening term from the Gabba. The Cats, 2-2-14. Remember, they only kicked a goal in the opening 3 quarters against Richmond back in round 17. The Tigers, a 2-1-13. They kicked those 2 goals within 4 minutes of each other. The Cats responding, and they get the buffer back of 1 point. 2-2-14. Richmond, 2-1-13. We'll look at the stats for Kerrs Higher on the other side of this. Injury updates as well for St John of God, your emergency specialist, now open 24/7. We've got a cracker of the grand final from the Gabba. Thanks to Warralilly. Live in Geelong's most awarded community. Live, breathe. K-Rock footy. Yes, Mitch Duncan with a late goal. There's just 8 seconds left on the clock. 2-2-14 Geelong. Richmond 2-1-13. Before we get to In the Experts Chair, Mark Neal tonight, let's have a look at some of the key numbers from that opening quarter. Thanks to Kerrs High Benny, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong.
Makes for interesting reading, Kingy. The Cats had 20 more disposals. They had that mark game going, even though it was a wet weather game. 21 marks to 5 in favour of the Cats. They also dominated clearances 13-9. They dominated contested possession 34-25. They had 4 less inside 50 though, 12 inside 50 to the Tigers, 8 to Geelong. Geelong did look efficient though when they were going forward. And we're just watching the grand final quarter time sprint, and the Cats might win that too because Jordan Clark has got there. He's beaten Brad Hill. No need for the photo finish. Jordan Clark into the frame, number 6, has paid $4.70 on the Super Tab.
Is that the last thing Jordan Clark does in a Geelong jumper?
No, I hope not. He's got 2 more years to run on his deal, so I don't think he's going anywhere.
2 WA clubs are interested.
Well, I think they're interested, but I think the Cats will be hopefully holding on to Jordan Clark. Tackle count went 19-11 in favour of the Tigers. Individually, Tom Stewart was superb in that first quarter. 8 touches. Mitch Duncan, he was a little shaky early, but he kicked that nice goal, got involved, 8 possessions. Selwood was good, set the tone, 7 possessions, 3 clearances. Cam Guthrie, fantastic quarter of footy. 7 touches, 3 clearances, and 5 clearances to Guthrie. So he had 5 of Geelong's 13 clearances, and he also kicked a sausage roll. Hawkins getting involved, not only in general play, but also in the ruck. He had 6 touches, 1 mark, and missed a shot at goal, although it was a decent shot. He just faded off to the left-hand side. For the Tigers, Edwards, he's had 7 possessions. Cochin has had 7. Edwards has had 4 clearances, 2 to go with his 7, so he's playing some sort of game. Short off hardback has had 6. Martin has had 5. Baker has had 4. Hooley also 4 for the Tigers. A couple of players who just were non-existent in that first quarter. Tom Lynch did not have a possession. Dylan Grimes did not have a possession, and Rewalt did not have a possession. For the Cats, Gary Rowan did not touch the ball, and Brandon Parfitt, I think, may have a problem with a finger. He spent a lot of time on the bench. He only had 1 disposal, although it did help result in a goal to Cam Guthrie.
Thank you for that, Benny. St John of God with the injury update. Sure, emergency specialist now open 24/7. Our blood rule, thanks to New Grove bench tops as well. Your kitchen really is the heart of your home. Mark Neal in the experts chair tonight. We have got an absolutely cracking grand final. So much drama in that opening term, from Nick Vlosten being knocked out to Ablett's shoulder to quality goals, and then even streakers as well.
Yes, Kingy, all week everyone's been talking about this promises to be a classic grand final. Really hard to split the Cats and the Tigers, and the first quarter certainly lived up to that. We had drama early, there were bodies going everywhere, broken, there were shoulders popping out, people being concussed, fingers breaking. When it settled, the Tigers able to settle quickly and first through 2 goals, and then we saw Geelong, who really, I thought, they got on top again through the middle part of the ground, part of the quarter, and a lot of that was to do with Guthrie and his clearance work. They won the battle for territory. We're just seeing here on the K-Rock monitor, Nick Vlosten is okay. He's out. He's obviously not going to take any further part in the game, but he's out sitting on the bench for the Richmond Footy Club. So that is good. Great first quarter. We had some great performances, individual performances. I really like Tom Stewart. Duncan, once he settled early on, a little bit shaky with the ball. I'll be interested to see the role that Martin's playing, doing the centre clearances, then goes forward and then comes up, gets the matchup that he wants and takes them inside the stoppage. So we'll see how that goes.
Just St John of God, emergency specialist now open 24/7. Hearing it might be a thumb issue for Brandon Parfitt. So it looks like he's again starting this second quarter on the woodwork.
So we're not too far away from bounce down in this second term. Crowd of around 30,000 as Dangerfield starts forward. Has Nathan Broad for company for Wombat Gully.
He does. He's again starting higher than what he has the last couple of weeks, which is a really interesting move.
Second term for Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Here's Benny.
So it'll be Stanley again up against Nan Curvis. It's good that first term, Stanley. Tapped it down, but straight to Martin, who hacked it off the ground towards half forward. Henry leads the chase in front of Castagna, taps it to his own advantage, and well tackled by Castagna, who won the pill. Bobbles off the shins of Blitzarves and out for a throw-in. So we'll see if anything's changed. Wombat Gully plant farm style, Nildy.
Not at the moment, Ben. The same matchups in both the forward lines at the moment.
Again, Stanley doing battle against Nan Curvis. Ball gets out the back. Simpson, clever tap to Blitzarves. Throws it on the peg towards the wing. Bouncing ball. Having a freshie was Asprey. Ablett's got the wheels, did well Ablett. He hasn't got the support though, he handballs wildly. How will the umpire adjudicate? And he must be sore, Ablett, on that left shoulder. He's got it heavily strapped. It's sort of a bit of a grand annual Moss Trooper sort of arrangement. But he sets up a stoppage for his team inside forward. In fact, it's just outside forward 50, 55 around from the Cats goal.
Boundary throw in, Stanley again and Nan Curvis. Stanley from behind the tap down. Prestia, the roving, sped a handball into space and found a runner. Graham jammed it on the boot towards half forward and on the chest. That's a good mark taken by Castagna in front of Henry. He's at 75, make it 80 from home. A long ball high. Lynch and Taylor. Stewart back. Couldn't mark on the juggle. Henderson head over it. Revolt wrapping him up. Ball not coming out. And we'll get a ball up. Henderson just grabbing at his head there. Maybe just playing it for all it's worth. Gee, Tom Stewart's been crucial, hasn't he, Neildy, through this first quarter and a bit?
Absolutely. He was the player that made it a 2v1 in the air then, so he started exceptionally well.
Duncan off the ground, found it to Myers. Now Duncan firing a handball for itself, rather Dangerfield over the top. Ablett's going to have company. Got a handball away. He's been hammered again on the shoulder. Try to get it to Hawkins. Ground level, the ball bobbling towards Asprey. Ablett head over it, socket off the ground by Baker. Dangerfield kept it alive and then jammed it on his left boot to half forward. Really crazy ball towards Rowan. Got Cochin. Well done, Asprey. Grimes handball to Pickett. Oh, Rowan, big tackle. Dump Prestia. That'll be holding the ball. Surely it is. So a free kick for Rowan and his first real impact on the contest. It is a free kick chase down as you'd expect from Rowan, and he'll take the footy man on the mark, 65 from goal. Rowan from Cobden, ex-Swan, couple of grand final appearances there. He off a standing start, wants to go to a one-on-one. Dangerfield being held, got the mismatch. Dangerfield and Cochin. Dangerfield got around Cochin, and now Cochin wants to argue the toss with the umpires. So let's have another look. Nearly talk us through this matchup.
Well, so a one-on-one matchup there. Dangerfield just got to the front position, and Cochin, he had no other avenue to try and stop Dangerfield jumping by grabbing. He'll claim that Dangerfield had him, but it will go to the player in front. Just better body use in a marking contest. That's not Cochin's go.
This is for a 7-point Geelong lead. Dangerfield Goalless last week. Looking for the 300th goal of his glittering career. Left forward pocket. Steps out slightly, sends it on its way. It's tight. I think he's kicked it. He has. Goal 300 is one to remember for Patrick Dangerfield. Geelong out by 7. 3-2-20 they lead. Richmond 2-1-13 in this second quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Ben, right at the start of the broadcast all those hours ago, you mentioned that on grand final days, you just have to take the little things and do the little things really well. Well, a massive tick to Gary Rowan. Well, actually, he can have 2 ticks. The tackle was sensational. And then for him to look inside 50 and identify out of the corner of his eye that Paddy Dangerfield has a one-on-one matchup where he's going to outmark him. Now, normally you would not kick the ball there at all. Normally that ball would go to the top of the square. But for Gary Rowan to identify that and then put the kick to the advantage of Dangerfield was outstanding. And then, of course, for the superstar to finish from there. Terrific team goal.
It's amazing how stars of the game, and Trent Cotchin's a star of the game, can look all at sea when they're asked to do something they're not actually. And defending one-on-one in defensive 50s, you wouldn't.
No chance.
Trent Cotchin wouldn't have been asked to do that in the last 5 years.
No, not at all.
So ball back in the middle. Wonderful kick by Dangerfield. Umpire slaps it into terra firma. Stanley up. Cotchin goes off the ground towards the wing. Duncan's first there, hit it hard, did well, took the pill as well. Then out of the corner of his eye, he spots Selwood. Dealey says move it quickly, and he does to Parfitt, who's back on. Parfitt sweeps it wide into Simpson. This looks promising. Simpson into the pocket. So Dallas going back. Why he didn't leave it for Hawkins, I will never know. Nonchalant tap on by Cotchin, taken by Myers. He's tackled hard, and Curvis is there. Hard up on the boundary. Ball spills out to Short. Short's hand pass to Bolter. He's met front on by Buse. Short's hand pass 2 metres to Pickett out wide. Ball hits the deck. Tui's there. This is tough stuff. Gets a nice handball back into Selwood. Now Selwood's tried to go into the pocket, gain metres for his team, but he's kicked it out on the full. And why Luke Dallas went back with the flight of the ball and tried to mark that pill when he had Tom Hawkins was going to take a chest mark, I will never know.
Surely Hawkins has called him out.
Well, he would have, because he didn't know what was coming. It would be that was on Tom Hawkins to call, or for Tom Hawkins just to let him run back.
Asprey to half back, spoiled by the Cats. Will land with Duncan. Myers outside of the right boot, one-on-one, top of the square. Dangerfield working against Grimes. Ball knocked away. Socket off the ground. Broad was Asprey rather to Broad. How's Parfitt with a loose foot? He had it knocked away. Tui tight against the boundary line. 55 from goal. Dangerfield's kick was touched. Stanley just needs to bring it to ground. Nankervis didn't hear the call. Dullhouse has wrapped him up and brings him to ground. We'll get a ball up. 15 out from the Geelong goal. So Nankervis surely would have worked out when he was tackled that, oh, hang on, this has been touched. I'll just take the tackle, thanks.
Absolutely, he knew.
So Dangerfield kick in. Now Nankervis trying to get it out of the ruck. His kick was partially smothered. Tigers will clear just outside 50. Lynch, handball off. Edwards outside of the right boot. Wants to send it wide to a one-on-one. Bolton and Blitzarves. How will it work out? Bolton will have the speed, you'd think. Although he tries to take Blitzarves on by turning him inside out. Just holds a handball back. McIntosh fumbled. Stanley dived. He fell, went to ground. Simpson went to go off the ground, missed the footy. Tigers are out here, you would suspect. Chance now for Castagna to get it forward, rather pressed here. Martin took 2 on and then fired a handball to Edwards. 51 from goal. Edwards, without looking, just sets it to the goal square. One-on-one, Lynch couldn't mark. Got rid of Kolajasny. It's off hands into the behind post and a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Tigers, and the Cats breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they do just some basic footy there by the Tigers. They kept their feet. A couple of the Geelong players went to ground and the ball kept moving and they were completely out of play.
It's like the brown stuff's flowing reasonably freely there at the Gabba. Blitzarves in the ruck. Presti had a fumble. Blitzarves took it. Hacks it onto the left boot outside defensive 50. Gains 60 metres for his team. Ball bouncing close to the boundary. How will the umpire adjudicate this? Surely he won't pay deliberate. He does it. That was a good kick from Blitzarves. Must have gained at least 60. And ball has gone out for a throw in true centre wing as Gary Ablett comes from the field, sits on the woodwork and has a little bit of 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
Boundary throw in. Stanley winning it down twice. Now gets it into space. Chance for Dangerfield to attack it. Fumbled. Duncan, was he taken high by Broad? No, umpire said it's a boundary throw in. True centre wing. Right below our best seats in the house. Thanks to Warralilly. 10 years at the top and still so much more to come.
Ben, the clearance numbers?
Clearance numbers are 16-13 in favour of the Cats in this term. It's 4-3 in favour of the Tigers.
2013 is the score. Second term thanks to Harvey Norman. Prestia, handball got away. Just tried to get into the path of Lambert. Haven't caught a lot of. Collar Jazzy bursting his way through. Jammed it on the boot. Bought 30 metres. Dragging down the tackle was Dullhouse on short. Now the ball's going to spill. Dullhouse diving on it was good. Handball up. Hawkins just tried to release on for Parfitt. Oh, bang. Baker got him. Good tackle. Ball at the boundary line. When it didn't go out, the Cats would have liked it out. Baker a high kick, although he's going to put it straight on the chest of Mitch Duncan, who is racking up plenty of the footy for Kerrs Hire.
This is 13th touch, leading possession winner on the ground. Is the 22 for the Cats. He just goes down the line. Inside defensive 50. Parfitt up, had a chance to mark, couldn't. Ground level taken by Pickett. Pickett cuts the swathe and then puts it on the left peg back towards the wing. Lynch is there, good fist away by Taylor. Ground level Martin swoops on it, goes round the corner, but his kick wasn't great. Buse through his hands to Simpson, back to Buse by hand. Buse this way and that way to Henderson. In fact, it's Duncan again down the line. It's good to Myers.
Myers is marked. He's got Dangerfield over the top. Enough on the kick. Yes. Broad claiming he touched it, but he didn't. Then Dangerfield's marked 49 from goals, where he makes a mark on the ground.
Some really good... they're setting the ground up well behind the ball. The Cats, Ben, you mentioned about that rebound 50 stat that you had. Richmond can't get it past really the middle of the ground when they're rebounding the footy. Some great work by the Cats.
Did Broad get a piece of it, or might have got a fingertip on it? But gee, the umpire's never going to adjudge that as touched unless it's absolutely clear. Dangerfield already has one from distance, from 55. He sets it up across the face of goal. A fly coming from Stanley. Couldn't mark, hand to the pack. Bolter, handball release. Missed Baker, found Parfitt. Parfitt submits in the tackle. Baker takes him out. Right forward pocket boundary throw in.
Geelong doing really well on Lynch and Rewalt. I know the ball hasn't come in. It's a little slippery. Neither of those players has had an effective disposal. No marks.
A great start for the Cats back there.
For Kerrs Hire, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. Hawkins and Nankervis. Nankervis grabbed it out of the ruck this time, and then he was dragged down in the tackle. Ball spills into the pocket. Guthrie and the other former number 29 in Gary Ablett with each other in the right forward pocket. Ball out of bounds.
These repeat stoppages for the Cats inside 50. Again, it gives the backman just a little bit of time to have a breather. They set the ground up behind the ball, make sure it's all nice and secure. Their spacing's good. This is really good stuff by the Cats.
So Hawkins just removed Nankervis. Ball got out the back though. It's now on the wing. Oh, Stewart coming through, took the pill, threw it on the right peg. Chaos sort of ball. Rowan up as he tunnelled. Gets out the back. Who's first there? Pickett. And the Tiger numbers. He handballs to Broad. Broad pushed off the kick. Screws it round straight to Myers. Myers plays on and Myers drills. The pointy golden opportunity went begging there. Myers has got to snaffle that. And the Cats' margin now is 8, 3-3-21. Richmond 2-1-13. Pressure from Dangerfield on the Broad kick was brilliant. Myers just missed. Well, he fluffed his lines there. He's got to kick those as a small.
He had more time. He actually could have gone in a little bit closer too. Short takes off into the right back pocket and then pulls a kick to beyond the wing. Oh, Taylor, gee, Lynch gave him a big shove, and there'll be a free kick for Taylor, who's copped a clip on the way through and he's clutching at his head. So he stays down for the moment, Harry Taylor.
He tapped it out of his hand.
So there's a big Lynch with a massive shove in the number 7, and there's no arguing that. And then there was just a little clip on the way through, and Jack Graham was trailing through, but Taylor's up on his feet. He's got a kick to Menegola. Was called to play on, so he'll swing onto his left boot. He'll send it for 15 out from goal. Nankervis could have marked, went with the fist. Bouncing ball, attacked by Lambert. He's attacked by Duncan. Handball missed its target. Myers, head over the footy. Guthrie. Oh, Nankervis in high. Umpire said play on. Myers has to go again. Ball underneath him, not coming out. And inside 50 for the Cats near the sponsors logo. We'll get a ball up 48 out from their goal. They lead by 8. 3-3 plays 2-1 in this second quarter that has gone 11 3/4 minutes, Benny.
Kerrs High inside 50s in this term, 11-2. Duncan, kick off the side of the boot. Lucks a fortune to Toohey. Toohey round the corner. Toohey drills! A long point just off to the right. Good effort by Toohey. Geelong are peppering Neildy. 3-4-22. Plays 2-1-13. The second term thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
For the moment, they've got the footy trapped in their half of the ground. They're doing more than peppering. This is like the dam wall. We spoke about it. If it continues like this, it will eventually break.
So in the left back pocket, Asprey's taken the mark of the short kick. He drives it long to the outer wing. Stanley and Henderson there. Fist on the foot, he might have been Rebolt. O'Connor just got rid of his opponent. Then a handball. Henderson tried to get to Simpson. Knocked back to Henderson. He's taken by 2 Tigers out of bounds. And now Rioli wants to get involved in a push and shove.
Let's go.
I think it's about the only thing Rioli's done tonight, Benny.
Yeah, he's been in the witness. He's playing the witness protection role. Rioli, Grimes is yet to have a kick. Vlauston obviously out. Lynch yet to have a kick. Rewalt yet to have a possession.
Stanley from behind winning the tap down. Ball's going to bobble towards Simpson. Handball didn't get to Guthrie, but it ricocheted back towards Stanley, who just jammed a kick inside 50. Dangerfield buffered off it by Broad. Bolter just fisted it into space, only to Dullhouse. Spun on a threepenny bit. High kick. It'll be about 20 out. They'll compete. Back with the flight. Dangerfield couldn't mark. Broad found it and then threw it on the left boot, but he'll put it out on the full, and the Cats will get another opportunity, and they've got to take them, Neildy, if they want to win this game.
Well, they do, Kingy, but again, look for the positives. The time in forward half is 80% the Cats, 20% Richmond. They're dominating the game. So that's the positive. Now they've just got to see if they can capitalise.
Dullhouse just sets it up, top of the goal square. Plenty of Tigers there to kill the contest. Probably not an ideal kick. Nankervis got back. He is working overtime. Toby Nankervis sees it through from behind. The Cats are now 3-5-23. 3 consecutive minor scores. Richmond 2-1-13 in this second term that on the Total Tools time clock has gone 14 minutes.
Short. Goes long in the direction of Lynch. Buse is there. He's tackled well though by Pickett. As he release, he's done. He might get done like a dinner. I think he is holding the bill. Just too long there for Busey.
Should have just taken the tackle.
Yeah, so Pickett just back onto the wing. Wants to move it quickly. His hand pass is a shocker though. He handballed it straight to Buse on the mark. Now Buse kicks it to his own advantage. Well, it's stay on the field to play. It won't. If it did, he could have been off to the races. And what was Pickett? So Pickett went to handball and he duffed it. Replace your divots. And he only handballed it to the man standing on the mark. And the ball now is in the throw-in position, about 75 around from the Cats' goal.
Blitzar's now doing the ruck work against Nankervis. Blitzar's winning the tap down with the left hand, but only into the path of Prestia. Gave it to Pickett. This is a bit better. Kicks it on to the boot towards the wing. Bouncing ball over the head of Stewart for the Cats. Taylor underground to Stewart by hand was good. Now Stewart wants the corridor. Missed his target. Prestia couldn't get there. Now it's knocked by Myers to Simpson. Simpson kept his head. Sweeping handball. Blitzar's mishit it. Pickett taken ball. Selwood just stole it from Blitzar's and said, let's just get forward. His kick off the outside of the left boot. Hooley will probably submit in the tackle. No. Went back by hand. Bolter, kick underground. Oh, touched off the boot. No. Selwood paid the mark. Gee, they've got to make them pay the Cats. The Tigers can't find a way out. Geelong have built the brick wall. Selwood short. Myers has marked 52 from goal. That's too far from him. He can go short now, and all alone, Sam Menegola. It's falling apart defensively for the Tigers.
It certainly is, and that's that damn wall thing we talk about. Their back six are under so much pressure because they can't clear the ball. It just keeps coming, repeat inside 50 after repeat inside 50. Ben, again, those inside 50s for the quarter.
13-2. Geelong have only had 5 more disposals in this quarter, but inside 50s are 13-2.
Sam Menegola to give the Cats a 16-point lead. A deserved 16-point lead, you would say. He sends it on its way. It's fading, but it's working just enough inside the right-hand goalpost. And the Cats have got their 4th. And they've got a little break. They've got the biggest lead of the contest, and it's 16 points with 5.5 minutes to play in the second. Geelong, a 4-5-29. Richmond, 2-1-13 in this second quarter. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Neildy, think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Okay, so they're moving the ball quickly. Where they can, they're trying to use the centre of the ground, and their backmen and midfielders, this is the Cats, they're setting the ground up well behind the ball. They're getting deep inside 50s. That's what's making it really hard, even when Richmond are getting their hands on the footy to rebound it, they can't go anywhere. It is a terrific quarter of footy here by the Cats. They're dominating, which is great to see. Now, Menegola, good. He's had a great season. Went back, deep breath. He took the full 30 seconds and kicked right through the footy.
Yep, he's had 7 touches, 6 of those effective, a clearance and a goal now for Menegola. Duncan's up to 16, leading possession when on the ground. Selwood's had 11. And Tommy Stewart's been really good off halfback. He's had 10 touches. Myers, too, playing well for the Cats. He did miss that easy opportunity, but he's had 9 possessions and he's getting involved.
Dusty with another change of boots by the looks of it.
So 9 of the last 10 inside 50s have gone to the Cats. Ball back in the middle. And Curvis down. Selwood slaps it though. Guthrie slaps it further forward. Howard Sitcochin tackled by Parfitt. Worried out of it by Parfitt. Gives to Guthrie, who just had a little fumble. Baker puts it on the ground. Taken by Pickett. Pickett pushed off the kick towards the wing. Menegola, the goal kicker. Tackled well though. That's good stuff by McIntosh. Trapped the ball under Menegola. And the umpire says, give it to me. Nobody is going anywhere while I'm in charge. I'll throw it up right on the logo. Centre wing. Best seats in the house. Kingy K-Rock hub style thanks to Warrell Lilly.
10 years
number 1 ticket holder.
Thank you, Ben. 10 years at the top. Still so much more to come. Oh, deft little touch. Ablett, Selwood inside 50. Hawkins has marked 45 from goal, left of centre. Cats in control, but the little master with a deft little tap. The tap down into the path of the skipper. Well, it was a handball, in fact. He got a little fist on it. Wow, outside of the right fist. He is a freak. And we're going to miss him. But gee, you tell you what, for the next 2.5 quarters, we're going to enjoy having him. And we're going to enjoy it more if the Cats can keep putting scoreboard hurt on the Richmond Footy Club. This for a 22-point Geelong lead. Hawkins looking at his first of the night from 45, starts at left, works it back, and the Cats have got a big buffer. They're out by 22. 5-5-35. Richmond a 2-1-13 in this second quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman. Tom Hawkins with his first of the night, and he now has 29 against the Tigers and 49 for the season. And his goals all because of the man in the number 4, who's got a shoulder that's a little bit dodgy. He's back on the ground and he's produced a little bit of Ablett magic, and it won't be hopefully the last time tonight we see something special from the little ball bloke.
That was extremely special, Kingy. One of the things I spoke about in the first quarter was the Dustin Martin, how he's playing high forward, coming up to a stoppage. Gary Ablett played that exact same role then. He got Basher Hooley up and into the stoppage. It's not Basher's go. Yeah. He had no idea what was going on. Once Gary got him where he needed him, and then that was absolutely brilliant. The flick to Selwood and then straight to the full forward in Tom Hawkins. They're happy about that. Gary's I think he tried to do a high five with his left arm. He couldn't actually get it up there. But this is a great break, 35-13 for the Cats.
He's a bit of 6:30, isn't he? Hands down at the moment. He's Gary Ablett. Ball back in the middle. Cats have put together an amazing quarter. 4 minutes till half time. Graham worked off it by Parfitt. He did well, Parfitt. Then he had a little fumble to Stanley. They crack in. Selwood, look at him working. Graham over the top. Ball at the back. Parfitt on hands and knees. I don't think that bill's coming out. Geelong's intensity around the ball is first class. Even though they've actually had less tackles, 37-24, their contested pill is 64-49, Kerr's higher in favour of Geelong.
Tap down there, Curvis, socket off the ground, Edwards out of mid-air, Lambert went through, caught one high, then he just had to throw it out, socket off the ground, Parfitt had a miss hit, but it dribbled 15 metres out to the wing. Cats have got numbers, Menegola, one of those, but under pressure. Richmond hunted well. Here's Martin, haven't seen a lot of him in the last few minutes. Handball missed its target, Menegola, ball bobbled out in the tackle after he took it. Stanley trying to get his hands on the foot, he couldn't. Edwards off the ground, Henry was clean, tried to get a handball up, but only turned it over. Lambert quick kick inside 50, lands on the chest of Stewart, who has been outstanding down back, has the boy from South Barwon.
He's been Rocket Gibraltar sort of stuff. He kicks a beauty. Oh, Guthrie dropped what he probably should have taken. Short's there to take the pill. Pumps it back inside defensive. Forward 50, I should say. And that is marked by Bolton. So Bolton is marked 48 metres out. He is a thumping kick. And just a little error there. It was a good kick from Stewart. It got over the back to Guthrie, who just dropped what he probably should have taken. And then a hacking chaos sort of ball landed straight onto the bosom of Bolton, who was lurking on the paint of 50. And he'll come in and look to bring the margin back to 16. They haven't scored in this quarter, the Tigers. Comes in, close to the man on the mark, way too close. And that was a bit like the old cow that couldn't produce milk, just the old utter failure. And just a minor score. 2-2-14 for the Tigers, 5-5-35 the Cats. Second term thanks to Harvey Norman.
Henderson with kick-in duties, and he'll bring it broadcast side for Warralilly. Looking out there, well, Ablett, that's not a great kick because Ablett can't get his arms up. And so Bolter has marked uncontested with 2.5 minutes to play. So Geelong time, though, to roll defenders back. Bolter, well up the ground, just chips for the pocket. Not a great kick. Asks a lot there of McIntosh. Menegola spoils his opponent. His Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. Just for Geelong Insurance Brokers, head-to-head. Hawkins danger, more impact than Lynch and Revolt.
Absolutely they have.
And Dustin Martin hasn't been able to get off the chain yet.
No, not at all. Guthrie is well on top of that area of the ground in terms of his clearances and disposal rate.
Stanley, the backhander, Bolton through traffic, a high kick, sets it to about 25 from goal. Pickett flies against Blitzars. Rioli ready to pounce, slipped over as he went to turn, and he lost the footy, holding the ball. Stewart will just say, I'll take the free kick, thanks. Hold things up with 2 minutes to play. The Cats should just play. Should they keep rolling the dice, Neil? You'll go a couple of minutes to play. Let's just control the footy.
Yeah, they'll try it. They'll go long down the line, Kingy. They wouldn't mind a boundary throw in or a mark here.
So they won't get either. Broad fists it back. They'll get a boundary throw and eventually it goes off the fist of O'Connor and out as Nick Florston watches on, out with concussion. Big hit by Dangerfield early in this game. Tigers down to 21. Cats have got some wounded players, including Gary Ablett and Parfitt with a thumb. Throw in. Bolter up against Blitzars. Bolter went off the ground. Edwards gives back to Bolter. Bolter on the left. Inside forward 50 into the pocket. Kick is good. Low down Lynch. Couldn't mark. Sliding on terra firma. And he had 1 bite, 2 bite, 3 bites. Could not complete the mark. And he probably should have in the end. It was a relatively easy effort for a player of his calibre.
Harry Taylor actually had an argument for out on the full there, Neildy.
He did indeed. That was a bad miss by Lynch.
Oh, well, here's Lynch trying to go through the traffic, grabbing it out of the ruck. Only turned it over as far as Henry, who's then hacked it out on the full. It's gone 8 rows back. Out left half forward. Gee, the Cats would love to hold firm here for 1 minute and 27 seconds. Going with a 21-point advantage, although that was the margin at half-time in the prelim. Kick inside forward 50 for the Tigers. 15 out from goals where they'll contest. It's at the front of the pack. Martin's there. Got rid of Kolodjasny. Snap around the corner is wonderful. Oh, Dustin Martin with something to spark the Tigers. He just had too much strength for Jake Kolodjasny, and he snapped the Atco service station's goal of the night. Dusty was something out of nothing. The Tigers have been dominated, but they get something late in this second quarter to give them some momentum. Their first goal of the second term. It comes at the 24-minute mark on the Total Tools time clock. And on the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard, it's Richmond 3-2-20, trailing Geelong 5-5-35.
When Dangerfield got his goal against Cochin, and we said that Dangerfield was able to get Cochin in a position he didn't want to be in, that was a defensive one-on-one marking position. On that occasion, Martin took Kolodjasny to a strength of Martin's, but not of Kolodjasny's. He was simply front and centre to a marking contest, and was then able to use his power and agility to win the footy. That's not Jake Kolodjasny's go. He was right with him. Martin is a brilliant player, terrific front and centre, good hands and a great kick round the body.
Yeah, that was a great goal. That was just a half an opportunity, not even half, probably 20%. And he was able to convert it, as he did last week, on a couple of opportunities. Back in the middle, Stanley down. The ball hacked towards the wing. McIntosh should be first there. It sits through. He had Blitzards in hot to shoot. He broke that tackle. Kicks it inside forward 50 again. Into the pocket. Good work by Taylor on Lynch. Fisted it away. Mick Schultz sort of arrangement. A double fister. Mick would have been proud of that. And the ball has gone out for a throw in deep in the right forward pocket for the Tigers. They trail by 15. 5-5 plays 3-2. 2020 grand final from the Gabba.
Minutes of play. Can the Cats hold firm and take this 15-point buffer in or find another goal? Stanley front position on the tap down. Blitzarves ran into Dusty, and that should have been holding the ball, and it will be. Well, I don't know what Blitzarves was trying to do there. He just had to get the quick release away. And Dusty, maybe in the 1.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter, might turn the game on its head. From trailing by 21 to potentially trailing by 9. He tried to take on the tackle, Blitzarves. You've just got to release, don't you? Get a clear handball, just get it out of the zone.
Well, Dustin Martin's tackling in. It's a pretty reasonable tackle.
Oh, no,
I don't think.
Was there time to get rid of it prior to the tackle, Neildy? No. Dusty's going to come out. Oh, he's hit the belly of the ball, and it's floated to 25 out from goal. Meant a goal of the spoil. Tui, Stewart fires a handball. Just wants space and territory. Rolling ball. Cochin, Stewart. Nobody really wanted the footy. Just wanted bodies. 11 seconds to play. Cats might have averted some danger in this last part of the second quarter. They've conceded 1 goal in the last 90 seconds, but you would think unless there's something really quick out of the pack, nothing's happening in this last 11 seconds, although there's plenty of time. Stanley and Nankervis, front of the pack, Dangerfield's up on the footy. Cochin just jammed it on the boot inside 50. Rolling ball. Lambert got a handball away. Edwards, Prestia, ball bouncing. Oh, siren is the Cats' friend as Prestia was lurking. Half-time in the 2020 Toyota AFL Grand Final, and Geelong are a 15-point leader. 5-5-35. That's more than the 4-7-31 they kicked against the Tigers in round 17. The Tigers are 3-2-20. Plenty to get through at half-time. We'll look at the stats for Kerrs High, all the injuries for St John of God, and the thoughts of Mark Neal. It's a long break, so settle in. 27 minutes of break for the Cats to breathe, reassess, and steel themselves for another 2 quarters of football. that will hopefully land them their 10th VFL AFL premiership. Half-time at the Gabba, thanks to Warralilly. 10 years at the top and still so much more to come. The Cats lead by 15. Live, breathe, K-Rock football.
Half time here in the grand final of 2020, and the Pussycats, the blue and white hoops, lead by 15 points, 5-5-35. Richmond 3-20. Mark Neal in the experts chair. Nealdy, Cats were very, very good. They only lead by 15, and a host of Richmond players were basically non-existent. How'd you sum up that first half?
Oh, I thought it was a terrific half of footy. For the grand final that we've always wanted, Ben, nice and close. The first quarter had everything in it. There was concussion, there was a pop shoulder, there were breaking fingers everywhere, then there were some good goals, and at quarter time it was a point the difference. That quarter, the Cats were clearly on top. They started winning it around the ball. They were in front in contested footy. One of the things that was great, when they got their inside 50s, Cass, they were getting them deep. We spoke about this before the game. They then set up well behind the footy. Tom Stewart was outstanding in terms of winning the ball, but also in setting his teammates exactly where he needed them to be, which meant if Richmond actually did get a rebound 50, it was going back in. The Cats probably will, in a perfect world, Ben, they might even be a goal or two further in front. They're not. They are playing a quality team, but their intent, the pace at which they're moving the footy, the deep inside 50 entries that they're getting, and the way that the mids and the back six are staying connected and setting up the ground behind the ball, making it really hard for Richmond to rebound. That's the area, or the areas of the game, that the Cats are on top and in front, and they certainly deserve their lead.
It's really interesting. I know it'll obviously still a half of footy to play, but the first goal of the second half, shapes as pivotal. Richmond get it, the game suddenly is a single-digit margin. Geelong get it, the margin's out to 4 goals.
Yeah,
it will be really, really important. Obviously, the Cats won't want to change a thing.
No.
In terms of how they've set up. What do you expect from the Tigers in terms of, will they just think, geez, we've had a poor half of footy here, we only trail by 15, or will they try and maybe move a few things around to try and generate something?
Yeah, they won't change their system. Richmond haven't changed their system now for 3 or 4 years. They'll expect it to work a little bit better. From a positional point of view, we saw just for that last 90 seconds, we saw Dustin Martin actually take up his position as a full-time midfielder. It was almost a trick that they were using for him to take the centre bounces, then go forward, get picked up by Kolajasny, then come up the ground as an extra mid and get... It's almost a little bit of a trick, and I don't know if tricks win you grand finals, but in that last 90 seconds, he was a full-time mid, so we might see a little bit more of him there. They would like to think, with that happening, that they can get Lynch and also Revolt involved. Down back, again, one of the good things of having someone like Dangerfield, the Richmond backs are nervous. Like Grimes has been he has just been not a factor.
He had one handball. That was it.
Okay. So he's been fantastic at being that third person into the contest all season. Haven't happened. Lost, and unfortunately for the Tigers, knocked out in the first couple of minutes of the game. So that's also his area. So they're struggling there. Noah Bolter played up the ground a little bit towards the end of that quarter, went in the ruck for a few minutes. That may be something they might use. They also pushed him forward in last week's game before half-time against Port Adelaide. Maybe we see that, but they need to slow Geelong's ball movement down, the Tigers, if they are to get back into it. And they also need to win some more clearances. It's not just about winning the clearance for the Tigers. It's actually, when they do, try and get an inside 50 out of it. That's the area that the Cats have been on top of.
They've been able to set up the Cats, haven't they? And those, you mentioned it a few times, that while sometimes there's a slow play or there might be a stoppage in the forward line for the Cats, it gives the defence a breather and a chance to set up. And the Cats are setting up really well.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes people will get frustrated of the attacking team when they seem to have a number of stoppages in their forward line, one after the other. But it's actually such an advantage for that reason. The defensive team, they're getting nervous, they're tired, they're using a lot of nervous energy, mental energy, as well as physical energy. The back six of the Cats, when that's happening, perfectly set up. They organise the drop-off play, they get a bit of a breather. I think that's working really well. And that's also one of the reasons that Tom Hawkins does the ruck work. He's really hard to beat. He can be neutralised on occasion in that area, but there's very few clean takeaways when Tom Hawkins does the boundary throw-in work.
So we're just seeing that goal from Dusty Martin trying to rev up his team just before half-time. The Cats are around about 55 minutes away from premiership glory. They lead by 15 points. Richmond will come hard. What are the Cats? got in the locker. A massive half of footy awaits.
Now, Ben, I did overhear Tom trying to just calm you down, and I will be doing everything I possibly can towards the end of the game just to absolutely let
we
you
may
off
need
the leash
17
with strong
litres.
encouragement.
17 litres of Finnegan to keep me sedated if the Cats get the chockies. Limbury, don't touch the dial. K-Rock, football!
Thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds.
K-Rock 955 is Geelong's home of the hits.
Live in the moment. Hit 'em. Live in the moment.
You want the hits? We got 'em. Geelong's home of the hits. K-Rock 955.
Has all this time at home made you realise how you'd really like to live? Perhaps it's time to design your forever home. Hi, Gary Watts from Signature Homes Geelong, your specialist custom home builder. For over 15 years, we've designed and built hundreds of stunningly unique architectural homes across Geelong, Bellarine and the Surf Coast. Explore the possibilities for your custom home with a free design consultation with our architect. See signaturehomes.net.au, your award-winning custom design professionals.
At home, on the work site, in the office, there are some big cleaning problems you just don't want to deal with.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Steamatic has real solutions to your cleaning problems. Graffiti removal, kitchen canopy cleaning, blasting services or the big industrial jobs, they're equipped to handle it all. Steamatic, a standout job every time and on standby when you need them most.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Essington Street, Grovedale. Visit steamaticgeelong.com.au.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fine Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCTs 1308 8349.
Create your own great outdoors at home with Harvey Norman. Our exclusive new outdoor furniture collection is in store now. With social distancing, our team will show you stylish timber, wicker, aluminium and concrete settings with sizes to suit all spaces. Explore our premium quality products at the cheapest prices in town with pre-order stock on sale now. We have everything you need to deck out your home's outdoor area at Harvey Norman, Princess Highway, Corio and Warren Ponds.
The Greenway at Warralilly offers low-maintenance living in the heart of Warralilly Village. Set in a prime location overlooking open space and ovals, you can take full advantage of shops, cafes, schools, parks and more on your doorstep. Get up to $45,000 off your superb Metricon turnkey townhome. But hurry, they are selling fast. Come and experience the way to live. The Greenway at Warralilly. Register your interest now. Visit greenwaywarralilly.com. Conditions apply.
Thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Half-time coming to its conclusion. Players moving into position. You picked up some Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups, Neely, already.
Yeah, Kingy, we thought that Dustin Martin might go to the middle of the ground. He's actually gone forward and gone deeper forward. So he's got Collar Jasny and Paddy Dangerfield exactly the same. He's starting in the goal square, this time being matched up by Grimes. In the first half he had Broad. So he's the deepest Geelong forward. Tom Hawkins about 15 metres in front of him.
Right, so they might try and get Dusty to win this off his own boot. The Tigers, they trail by 15. Selwood and Cochin, the two ageless warriors, go head-to-head. Between them, just a lazy combined. There's this, Neely, 561 games between them.
Yeah, that's there's not much laziness about that, Tom, I would think.
No. Harry Taylor tonight, 280 games, puts him into the top 10 all time at the Cats. We suspect that might be where he finishes. He's joint with Andrew Mackie on that number. Nick Loston looks on from the bench. Unfortunately for him, his grand final didn't last more than 5 minutes after running into the freight train that is Patrick Dangerfield. He just wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately. So players are set, umpires are set, and we're set. Second half of the 2020 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Our third quarter, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7 for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Get us underway. Here's Benny.
So it'll be Stanley up against Nankervis won the tap. Prestia goes off the ground, had a little miss hit towards centre half forward. O'Connor kept his feet. Prestia followed up, took the footy, then was dispossessed. O'Connor the other way, good tackle, releases. Rioli was quiet, had no possessions in that first half. Sweeps a hand pass to Graham, back into traffic, back to Edwards. Edwards wrapped up, good tackle by Guthrie. Cochin, great hand pass. Out the corner of his eye, he spotted Graham. He goes wide to Short. Short gives it to Martin. Martin puts a high ball, top of the square. Rewald will get the free against Henderson holding in the marking contest. And 17 metres out directly in front. Jack Rewald can go back and kick the first goal in the second half.
The free kick was certainly there, Ben. That's one of the few one-on-ones that Jack Rewald's had all evening. A terrific deep entry by Dustin Martin. Got set up the one-on-one and, yep, really good body work by Jack Rewald.
So Rewald did not have an effective disposal in the first half. Comes in, shouldn't miss this, and he doesn't. Richmond get the perfect start. Margin is back to 9. 4-2-26. The Cats, 5-5-35. Third quarter, thanks to APCO Cafe, 24/7 for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Really good centre clearance win by the Tigers. One of the important things you need in a centre square is a role called the sweeper. He's the one that stays there. He's the gatekeeper or the wicket keeper, if you like. On that occasion, the Cat who was playing that position moved, allowed the ball to go through there, and then there was just an outnumbering situation by the Tigers. So we looked to get the Geelong midfield players just to sort that out, make sure there's always someone holding the sweeper position.
So the 663rd goal of the career of Jack Rewald.
Game 283 tonight, Benny. Passes Matty Richardson. He was equal on him on 282. Cats, how do they respond? Led by as much as 22, that margin back to 9. And the run of inside 50s has started to fall with the Tigers either side of the half-time break. Stanley and Nankervis in the middle. Umpire Meredith puts it down. It's a good bounce. Slightly favours Stanley. He got a palm on Selwood. Taken high as he has been many times through his career by Nankervis. He can give a handball to Guthrie. Instead, he wants to play on to Selwood. Ran himself into trouble. Little handball to Guthrie under pressure. Little kick, and they're going to turn it over at half back. They just needed to pump it long, and they'll turn it over in the middle. They'll get hurt on the rebound. Lambert with the footy. Kick to half forward. Martin in front of College Asney's mark. 55 from home. Wasted chance for the Cats. Martin shanks the kick. Saw something out the corner of his eye. Graham will get a free kick. Blitzarves was caught off balance, and he's either taken him high or chopped the arms. Take your pick free kick wise, and this to make the margin 3 points. It's a different looking Richmond in this second half of footy that's barely 3 minutes old. And Jack Graham, who of course was missing last year with injury, he kicked 3 goals in the 2017 decider against the Crows, and he's a chance to bring his team to within a kick from 50 metres right on the paint. He's hung it out to the right. It's a mongrel kick, and Stewart has marked uncontested on his chest.
Jeez, that was a stink bomb. Stewart kicks it into the pocket. Cats just need to settle here.
They do, Ben. It was just a bit of in your language, just a stuff up in the middle of the ground. Basically, Selwood just needed to go long, tried to be a bit cute.
Menegola did go long, and that's a good mark from College Asney, who wants to come back in. Oh, he's turned it over. He's kicked it straight to Lambert. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Lambert goes to Baker. Centre half forward. Players running everywhere. Baker over the top has got Castagna. And Castagna is marked inside forward 50. Horrible kick from Jake College Asney. I'm not sure it's his go to be wheeling and then squirting a ball inboard, Maurice Rioli style. And he turned it over. It was a howling ball because his teammates behind the ball were actually so far out of position. There was no hope they were going to get back. And Castagna comes in. He's kicked 16 goals this year. A kick from right on 50, so it'll be on his limit. Comes in, he's hit it pretty well, he's hit it really well. It was a low-flying arrangement, and he's kicked the goal, and the margin is 3. Richmond have started this third term with a bang, 5-2-32. The Cats 5-5-35. Third quarter thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
Look, Yes, Ben, you called it. Just a poor execution by Kolodjasny. Really well set up again, the Tigers. We know they're the quickest team in the competition getting in their defensive structure. Once that happens, it's basically game over. Everybody's out of position. And as you called it, the little Richmond forwards were just running everywhere. So it is absolutely game on. Cats still hold a 3-point lead.
So Kolodjasny he does make the odd mistake. He's had a really good year. Just probably needs to play the percentages in that case. And
that's a down the line kick, isn't it?
Well, for him, yeah, but I mean, they're not playing like that, Kingy, so I don't want to see him go back into their shell now, the Cats, because they're 100-1 if they do that. They've got to take this challenge and play with the verve they played with in that first half and try and catch Richmond off guard.
Richmond now with 3 consecutive goals to cut a 22-point deficit back to 3. Bounce in the middle, Stanley and Nankervis again. Nankervis got his hand on it. Selwood went to go off the ground. Stanley did. Bought about 8 metres for his team. Edwards now just soccers it towards the outer wing. Bouncing ball. Stewart will lead Rioli to it. Kick on his non-preferred left. It was a poor kick under pressure. McIntosh took it and then tried to claim it like a mark. But it was on the bounce, so he had to fire a handball away under pressure. Prestia scooped it forward. Tui was good. Selwood fumbled. Simpson, Dullhouse, quick release. Myers just tried to knock it forward. Didn't get a good piece of it. McIntosh, Bolton, charging now the Tigers. Graham, he gives a handball. Bang, Hawley got it back. Under pressure to Edwards. Kick inside 50. Spoil was good on Lambert by O'Connor. Martin ready to pounce. Ball front of the pack. Kolodjasny, good pickup. Taken by Rioli. Handball to Stewart. Out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Right forward pocket. Tigers in attack. Coming with an absolute rush now, Richmond.
They certainly are. Cats are under siege here. They'll have to stand up, obviously.
Well, boundary throw in. Here's Lynch grabbing it and then kicking it to the goal square. O'Connor's back there playing goalkeeper. Gives a handball to Henry, who fumbled. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in. And things are just tightening for the Cats. Just little mistakes in this first part of the third quarter, where we've ticked over 7 minutes on the Total Tools time clock, Benny. Geelong just a little bit nervous.
Yep, they are. They're not Ian. They're much Bruce. I'm not sure. Had Curvis, so throw in. Blitzar's won the tap. Simpson immediately tackled by Bolton. That ball's not coming out. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll throw it up. Still inside. Forward 50 for the Tigers. Cats just need to regather some momentum here. Lynch just pushed Blitzar's out of the way. Selwood comes through. Tries to release a handball, did so to Duncan. Duncan slaps it on the boot towards the wing, but it's again Richmond, although Dalhouse did well. Gives to Hawkins. Hawkins to Ablett. Ablett over the top, releasing handball to Dalhouse. Dalhouse goes back to Myers. Myers from 45. Myers locks and loads, and Myers drills the goal! Great stuff from the Cats, end to end, good passage of footy. Myers finishes the deal. Geelong out to 9 points, 6-5-41. Richmond a 5-2-32. Third term, thanks to APCO, Cafe 24/7.
Gee, fantastic team goal. You rarely see a goal like that scored against Richmond. That was from a stoppage. Selwood was involved, Duncan quick kick, but the run of the players, Geelong completely ran their Richmond counterparts off their feet. Great finish that time by Myers. Ablett involved, really great use. That is a goal, and I'll repeat it, that you don't see kicked against Richmond very often at all. They ran the footy at them in numbers and they shared the ball around. Just terrific team stuff. Hawkins playing high has an impact when he does that.
APCO Service Station's goal of the day contender. Heading to APCO to win fuel, instant prizes, and even a brand new ute. Brian Myers, he likes goals in grand finals. He kicked 7 in a TAC Cup grand final for the Geelong Falcons in 2017, and he kicked them from all angles, Neildy.
Well played. That was a terrific one. We need to see a couple more of those this quarter, Tom, would be nice.
So we look up into the crowd and we get vision of Malcolm Blight, who took the Cats to 3 grand finals during Neildy's era. Couldn't deliver in the end, but got a couple at the Crows. Tap down Stanley. Guthrie over the footy. Cochin got a little kick forward about 2 metres. It ricochets nicely to Graham, who gave it to Martin. Kick inside, forward 50 on the left boot. Wanted Nankervis. Knocked away by Henderson. Quick kick, Castagna. Bouncing. Missing to the left. Through for behind. He's lively, Jason Castagna.
Well, they're quick third quarter. They're real quick, those little Richmond forwards.
Yeah, he was in witness protection in that first half. Obviously, it was his time on the dock. Guthrie plays on and kicks it into the pocket. He's got Kolodjasny, who'll be a little nervous. Oh, he went handball to Guthrie.
Long down the line, Jake.
He did go down the line. He wants a man down there, Stanley. Stanley caught behind. He's going to get a free, I think. It's going to go to Stanley. Jeez, that was a little lucky. Not sure there was even Davey Collins, who's got his face painted blue and white. Not sure he thought that was a free kick. Stanley goes wide. He's got Duncan, and Duncan marks, but he's forced into a slow play just backward of the wing.
Right below our best seats in the house for Warralilly. Goes short to Guthrie. He's racked him up tonight, as has Mitch Duncan. Cam Guthrie, All-Australian wingman this year. Wonderful season, 14 Brownlow votes. A high kick towards half forward. What's he got? He's got Hawkins presenting, but not marking front of the pack. Dullhouse, wrapped up by Hawley. Got one high, I reckon, from Batcher Hawley. And it's going to be a free kick to the Bulldogs premiership player. Luke Dullhouse, boy from Leopold. Two out there, he and Jed Buse, representing the Lions of Leopold. 55 metres out, just sends a high kick. Back there defending, straight into the hands of Stanley. Quick snap, just missed. Gee, the defensive fist might have come from Asprey, and it landed in the lap of Stanley, who might have had a little bit more time than he thought, but it is grand final night. And it is a 9-point Geelong lead again. 6-6-42, plays 5-3-33, short plays on Benny.
He does. He goes outside defensive 50 to McIntosh, who can actually mark and then go. Long ball. He wants Lambert. That's a wonderful kick. Oh, great spoil, Henderson. Got a fist in there at the last minute against the nippy Lambert, and the ball goes out for a throw-in.
That was really important. That was looking like an inside 50 scoring opportunity for the Tigers. Very quick one end-to-end. Great defensive spoil.
It was. It was forward of the wing, half forward. Stanley pushed out of the way by Bolter. Slapped it in the direction of Bolton. Parfitt goes in for the Cats. He's dispossessed. Martin working hard. Got it out the back to Prestia. Sweeps a handball inboard to Short. This looks dangerous. Short puts it to the top of the square. There's two of them there. They can raffle it. Oh, Castagna had his pocket picked by O'Connor, who then had a fumble. Great tackle, Taylor. Rip Castagna to terra firma. And Buse goes wide. Oh, great mark, Bolton over the top of Menegola. It's all happening. Bolton plays on, and he kicks inboard, and it's marked by Lambert. Frenetic passage of play, brilliant from both sides.
He clearly took that mark.
And in the end, the mark has been taken by Lambert, 20 out, not much of an angle.
There's some nerves and just some high pressure things going on here. Really good play by both sides, and the Tigers, which is the way they share the footy, boys. They have another shot at goal.
So Lambert, just 9 goals this season, 70 across a career that reaches 115 games. This to bring the margin back to 3. We're right behind it. He does just that. Richmond are making their surge. A 3-point ball game. Cats are 6-6-42. The Tigers 6-3-39. Third term, thanks to Atco Cafe 24/7 for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Gee, playing Bolter in the ruck and also forward just gives their team such a different look. Now Asprey's gone back to take up that key defensive post that he left behind, so that's certainly had an impact for Richmond. But it's just, again, they're swarming little guys that weren't impacting the game at all in the first half. They're right in this contest.
Yep, some players that were really struggling in that first half of footy. In this third quarter, it's 7 inside 50s to 2. Time in possession 60 to 25. They've actually started to win more marks too, 8 to 6. They've had more disposals, more tackles, and they've had more clearances, 5 to 2. So they're right on top. Martin's had 4, Graham 4, McIntosh 3, Prestia 3, and Lambert 3 and a goal in this third quarter.
Hughes' kick just needed to be a bit more punchier.
Yeah,
Neildy just hung in the air too long, gave Bolton too much of a look. It's all by the by now. The margin is 3. Blitzarves will do the ruck work against Nankervis. Nankervis came with a run, won the tap. Duncan released to Blitzarves. Blitzarves can fire it off to Guthrie. Kicked without looking inside 50. Myers back with a hand. Knocked it away from Short. Dullhouse was good in traffic. Got away from the skipper. Now what? Blitzarves too slow. He's been not the first time tonight. Mark Blitzarves has tried to take on the tackler and should have got the first release and didn't that time. Just had to get it on. Good tackle. And a free kick to the Tigers, and it's Short who's got it inside defensive 50.
The Short goes long in the direction of his man out there, Stewart out the back, Tui. He had the chicken wing, handball to no one in particular, slap forward by Bolter. O'Connor's there, goes to Duncan under pressure. The pressure from Richmond, Pickett with the tackle. And Duncan and Ball go out for a throw in. The pressure from the Tigers, Neildy, has gone up in this third term.
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. And it's when Geelong are getting the footy in the first half, they're able to run, take some ground, link up. That's completely been removed by the pressure.
Blitzards and Nankervis winning that tap down. Selwood slung in the tackle, got to get a handball out. Just gave it to Duncan. He knocked it forward, spilled for Tui. Tui a high kick towards back of the wing. It was touched off the boot. Broad and half it'll fly. It'll fall for Rowan. Handball was deflected away, out of bounds. Boundary throw in. I don't know what Rowan was trying to do, whether he was trying to get it forward. Just see Paddy Dangerfield on the bench, Benny on the vision. Haven't called his name at all, have we, in this third quarter?
I don't think he hasn't had a touch in this third quarter.
Thanks to Kerr's hire, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. Nankervis tried to grab it out of the ruck. Tackled by Blitzar. Spills Edwards, handball into space. Wanted Bolton, he just socked it off the ground. Bought some territory, but in doing so, has put it out of bounds on the full, about 25 metres away from where he socketed it. And Henderson, with the resultant free kick, will be about where the 50-metre line meets the boundary in the left-back pocket for the Cats.
So Henderson, who started his career with the Brisbane Lions, up at the Gabba, just goes down the line in the direction of Blitzarves. Got 2 to beat, can't do so. Pickett. Blitzarves tackles him, that holding the ball. Ball comes back to Rowan. And the umpire says no, throw it in. Everyone was going to hold the pill against Pickett, but thought better of it as Tom Lynch prepares to enter the field of play after a stint on the woodwork. Throw in, right on the logo. Out of side, Blitzarves down. Out of the grasp of Duncan. Prestia worked harder. Coming the other way was Buse, gives to Tui. Tui under pressure from Martin, kicks back to the wing. Parford went to ground, had to keep his feet, but then he laid a good tackle on Hawley. Short's there in support. Short just hacks it on the boot towards half forward. Ball pitches. Who's there for the Cats? Tui had a freshie. Martin didn't on the outside of the right shoe. Martin dribbles. Martin dribbles, a wonderful goal. Richmond are in front. Dusty's got 2. And something from nothing from the Tigers. They're surging the ball forward at the minute. The Cats have got no answer. 7-3-45, Geelong a 6-6-42. Third term thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
What's going on at the moment, very similar to the first final the Cats played against Port. They're just being beaten from contest to contest running. They're okay in the initial contest, but what is getting them is the second and third contest. The Richmond players are up. They're just outnumbering at the second contest and the third. Ben, that's when you call a surge mentality, the ball's being surged forward. That's how that happens. So now the heat will go on the Geelong midfielders and the high half forwards. That's their part of the game plan, their part of the territory. They have to step up here.
So after kicking 5 consecutive goals, the Cats have now conceded 5 of the last 6, as Richmond have come from 22 points down to lead by 3. It's their first lead since the 24-minute mark of the opening term. With 6.5 to play in the third quarter, the Tigers have made their move in the premiership quarter. Bounce back in the middle. 2 ruckmen go at it. It's a skew with bounce. Stanley will get a piece of it coming towards it. Well done, Parford, to knock it towards Selwood. Selwood, taken high. Steady, outside of the right boot, and he's been pushed. So it's going to be come back to Joel Selwood, who'll have a shot at goal to take the lead back for the Cats. Time for the captain to step up. So he had the footy after he fumbled it. He got inside 50. And Baker with the forearm across the chops. And then he got a little right foot kick away. Cochin will stand the mark around 45 from goal. And Joel Selwood has the game on his boot at the moment.
Terrific effort. I mentioned, Kingy, that the mids and the high half forwards, that's where it's being won by the Tigers at the moment. They've got to step up, and he did that on that occasion, Selwood. Let's hope he can kick truly.
Just the 4 goals this year from 14 games. From 52 out, he's hung it out to the right. It won't have the carry. Rowan will fly. He won't mark. Broad knocks it away into the pocket. Graham under pressure. Got a little left foot kick away. Deflects towards Guthrie. Palmed it to Ablett. Gave a handball to Simpson. Simpson's left foot snap was smothered. Ball spilled back to O'Connor. 55 from goal. Tried to get a kick into the pocket, and it's put it out on the full. Dangerfield was standing there all alone, but under pressure O'Connor couldn't pull the kick enough for Dangerfield, and it's going to be a free kick to the Tigers in the left back pocket.
So Baker just puts it outside defensive 50 with a high ball. Stanley's there, probably should have marked in ground level. So we're trying to lift his team. Had his kick smothered. Simpson coming the other way. He was dispossessed. They're hunting impacts the Tigers. Bolton kicks it into the middle. Rioli dropped what he should have taken. Who's there? Menegola. Quick give. Everything the Cats do is under pressure. Kolajasny releases to Blitzarves. In and out of traffic to Parfitt. Parfitt this way and that way. Gets back onto his right. A high ball to 20 out. Dangerfield, was he taken? Umpire said no. Cat fans thought it was a free. Broad came through, took the footy, and he was tackled by Myers. Good stuff by Myers. And that's holding the ball against Broad. Good stuff from the smaller Myers. Broad had up ahead of steam. And he tried to break the tackle, but Myers just gripped on for grim life. And he'll win the freeze. Too far out to score. Gives to Guthrie. Guthrie on the run. Long ball is off target. Minor score. And the margin is 2. 6-7-43, the Cats. The Tigers are 7-3-45. Apco Cafe 24-7. K-Rock third quarter.
So short kick into the right back pocket from Shorts, marked by Hooley. Hasn't had a massive influence, the former Don, on this contest. Sends it towards the outer wing. What's he got out there? Looks for a fly from Lynch. It's got out of the back. Taylor dropped what he should have taken. Then he scooped it up to Henderson. Henderson lost it in the tackle. Ball's out of the pack. Over it, a couple of Tigers, but trying to burst away Rowan. Managed to jam it on the boot towards half forward. Myers and Hooley. Hooley wraps up Myers. Got him around the neck and around the dreadlocks. And now, see, when Brandon Parfitt comes in like that to lock it up, I reckon the umpire should play holding the ball, because the team's not trying to move the footy on, Neildy.
No, they're not.
The whole idea is ball in motion. From the ball up, it's not out of bounds.
If you want to completely exhaust the players, you can pay that rule. So you'll kill them, mate. You've got to give some stoppage.
So there's a throw in now. It's 55 out from Geelong's goal. Chris Scott looks a little pensive. Stanley up against Nankervis. Nankervis won it down to Bolton. Bolton on the wing. Puts a high ball, pushes his kick. Will it stay in the field to play at will? Stewart had a fresh air on the marking attempt. Hand pass by Edwards. Selwood's there, tries to slap it back. It spills for Lynch. He throws it on the shoe. It's a high ball back towards the paint of 50. Oh, getting back Henry. Hamlin Hanger contender. Good stuff with the flight of the ball. Defensive work from Jack Henry.
Henry, long way from home though. Drives a kick towards the interchange gates. What's he got down there? Oh, Guthrie! Hamlin Hanger contender! Climbed high over the top of Toby Nankervis and put him on a footy card. Nice mark by the All-Australian, and he goes short, and the mark's on the chest of Duncan. Wonderful grab from Cam Guthrie. Great elevation. Used the ruckman to his full extent. And now Duncan will drive a kick to half forward through the hands of a Tiger. Might have been Asprey. Prestia just a little soccer. Selwood burrowing in. Underground handball. Ablett on his right boot. Outside off. Oh, that's a wonderful kick to Hawkins. Tight in the left forward pocket. Hawkins is marked. Now the question. J curve. He steps out on the J curve. He snaps and he has missed to the near side. Through from behind. Margin is 1. Geelong just getting some momentum back. Oh, that was a wonderful mark by Guthrie. That's the mark of the grand final. Put that down, Matty D. That's a wonderful Hamlin Hanger contender.
Yeah, it was a good old-fashioned hanger. Hawley's got it. Hand passes to Broad. Broad hurriedly onto the left shoe. Down the line of the wing. Cats set up there. O'Connor went the spoil, then took it at ground level, gives to Henry. Henry kicks it back towards forward 50. Dangerfield's got to run at it. Can't mark ground level. Dangerfield had a fumble. He should have taken the footy and didn't. Dalhouse goes in. So too Pickett. Nankervis over the top. And the umpire says, give it to me. I'll throw it up on the paint of 50 for the Cats.
Great response here by the Cats. Richmond had all the play. They had the momentum. They've really wrestled it back. Good work in the contest from contest running. Now if they could just capitalise with another goal, it'd be perfect.
Nankervis the tap down. Duncan through traffic. Had it knocked away. Selwood up to Stanley. Stanley a high kick inside forward 50. What's he got? Rowan flying, not marking. Simpson took it off the pack. Quick release. Tried to hit Ablett. Missed him. Dalhouse palmed it towards Ablett. Ablett will try and go off the ground. Couldn't. Ball bobbling. Top of the goal square. Prestia. Clearing kick was good. Ablett saw again. He just kicks for territory. Is it deliberate? It will be. Ablett saw. He may have to come from the ground. It's deliberate paid against Prestia from that clearing kick. There was not another Tiger within the vicinity. So the pressure came from Grimes. And he just got him in the wrong spot. And he saw Gary. They'll have to do some work on him at three-quarter time. We've got a cracking grand final. Hope you're enjoying wherever you're listening. The kick comes from O'Connor. High, 15 out. No mark taken. Dalhouse, little dribble. Rolling ball. Will get to the behind line. Oh, Pickett picked it up. And Parfitt wrapped him up. Took it out of bounds. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. So Marlon Pickett was very nonchalant with the footy there. Parfitt hunted him. Got him out of bounds. And in the right forward pocket, Benny, a boundary throw in.
So what can the Cats conjure? The throw in, high ball, Hawkins contests the ruck. against Nankervis. Both ruckmen missed it. Nankervis slapped it out towards Prestia in turn. He slapped it wide. Abuse comes through, but can't keep the ball in the field of play. And Richmond bought about 15 metres there. Will have another throw, and this time about 30 around from the Cats' goal. See your players around the pill. 1:52 to three-quarter time. Richmond lead by 1 point in the grand final of 2020. Hawkins front position, slapped it. Well, Ablett was taken high. Umpire said no. Dangerfield hands and knees, handballs to Buse. Buse tries to break the tackle, then he throws it on the right peg. Will it stay in the field of play? It won't. It's gone out in the full. He got a bit of purchase on it. Ablett is really, really sore. He's staying out there though, and the free kick will go to Asprey deep in the back pocket.
He's with it. David Asprey, the now backup ruckman. Noah Bolter making the most of the opportunity when Asprey was out injured. He drives a kick towards halfback. What's he got out there marking-wise? Well, he's got nothing because Menegol is marked. He wants to come inboard and just go slightly backwards to Duncan. Duncan outside of the right boot, sends it long, front of the pack, Rowan. Then Curvis was good. Handball to Castagna. Castagna, though, had his kick smothered. The ball ricocheted towards the boundary line and out of bounds. Dullhouse outstanding, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
He was outstanding, King. That's what we talk about, the pressure. They get repeat stoppages inside their own forward 50. It's terrific play.
Hawkins front position in the ruck contest. Bolton did the roving, though, and a clear kick inside 50, a one-on-one. Kolodjasny good against Martin, but Martin did the roving, front of the pack, and then just kicked for territory, but the Cats have got a man back, and that man is Blitzarves going back with the footy. Will he find the footy on the ground? It's bounced. He's going to have to go and get it now. He's got time to just turn in the tackle of Frioli. Gave it to Henry, who lost it. Ball bobbles for Graham. Graham shares it by hand with Lambert. Edwards misses to the right. Blown opportunity there for the Tigers. They double their lead though. They're 7-4-46, Geelong 6-8-44. This is a cracking grand final with 50 seconds to play in the third quarter, Benny.
So Henderson goes long. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Cats. Stanley's out there with Rowan, and Rowan takes the mark. Held by Broad, wants to move it quickly. He's got about 33 seconds, Rowan, before three-quarter time, and I don't think there's going to be any score because he just chips it wide. He kicks it over the head of Menegol, and it's gone out for a throw-in. So Geelong have got to regroup now. 30 seconds, they cannot concede a goal. Skill error from Rowan. Ball is out right on true centre wing.
Need to just lock things up. If they can't kick a goal, 2 points at three-quarter time is a good place to be. Tapped down by Stanley. Kolodjasny stolen almost by Martin. Simpson went in and got it. Lost it in the tackle. Here's Bolton bursting away. Outside of the right boot. Kick inside 50 to a one-on-one. Taylor knocked it away. What's at the front of the pack? Revolt tried to take on Parfitt and then lost it. Rowan gave it to Parfitt. Can the Cats hit him with 8 seconds remaining? Long ball. What's he got? Hawkins in a 2-on-1. Ball got out the back. Is there time for the Cats? No, there won't be. Three-quarter time siren as Baker picks it up. Gives it to Hawley. Hawley to short. And we have got a final quarter that you will not want to be moving from your chair for. 2 points is the margin. 1 quarter of football remains in season 2020, and we still don't know who the Premier is going to be, and that's how you want it on grand final day. The Tigers made their surge. They kicked 4 goals. The Cats just the 1. The margin is 2 as Gary Ablett heads for the rooms and for some treatment to that shoulder. Three-quarter time at the Gabba. Grand final 2020. Richmond 7-4-46. Geelong 6-8-44. That third quarter. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7 for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And Warralilly, a number 1 ticket holder. 10 years at the top and still so much more to come. Live, breathe, K-Rock football. There, cracking grab from Cam Guthrie, but a rare highlight for the Cats from that third quarter of action. Tom King, Ben Castanilla and Mark Neal bringing you all the grand final action from the Gabba, but we find Geelong trailing by 2 points, so a 17-point turnaround as Richmond kicked 4 goals to 1 in that third quarter. We'll get to Mark Neal shortly. Firstly, just remind us of those injury issues or injury issue for Richmond, please, Benny, for St John of God.
Nick Vlauston out. 4-minute mark of the first term, concussion in a collision with Patrick Dangerfield has taken no further part. Gary Ablett is seriously injured with that left shoulder, but he has played on, albeit hurt. Came from the field there in the third term, went down into the room, so they're obviously trying to treat that to get him up and about for the final quarter. In that third term, Richmond got right on top. In the end, it was 10 inside 50s apiece. But Richmond kicked 4-2 from their entries. Geelong kicked 1-3. The Cats actually had 6 more disposals, 3 more marks. They had 6 more contested possessions. The tackle count, though, 24-12 in favour of Richmond. They really upped the ante. Overall, Richmond have had 64 tackles. Geelong have laid 40. Inside 50s are split down the middle at 32 apiece. Clearances are split down the middle at 30 apiece. And contested possession, Geelong are plus 15. Marks, 44 Cats, 19 to the Tigers. Individually, Duncan's had 21. Selwood's had 18 and 6 clearances. Stewart 15, Guthrie 13 and kicked a goal. Dalhouse 12 for the Tigers. Edwards has had 20. Shorts had 20. Martin really got going. 17 touches and 2 goals. Cochin's had 13. Graham's had 12.
For all that football's had to endure, we're getting the grand final that we deserve in 2020. Tight, tough and contested, and that's how you want it. And I tell you what, Richmond has really put Geelong on the back foot in that third quarter, of course. All our stats thanks to Kerrs and Benny, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. Nearly final quarter is nearly upon us. Players are breaking. I don't think either coach is one for necessarily inspirational three-quarter time speeches. I think it would be reinforcing of messages.
Oh, absolutely. Look, as you said, we've got the grand final that the game deserves. It's 2 points in favour of Richmond. Again, there were no rabbits pulled out of hats. Richmond just got their game going the way that when they play well, they swarmed the footy. They went from contest to contest. As we discussed, Ben, again, Dangerfield will start in the middle of the ground. It will probably just be for a short burst, and then he'll go forward, similar to what Martin's been doing. It does expose the Geelong forward line. If they get repeat high entries in, it'll expose them in terms of the way that Richmond play. Look, it would have simply been, we need to get the game on our terms, and they would have reinforced the key things. For Geelong, use the middle of the ground, go quick, use the flat kicks if you can, set up behind the ball. For Richmond, it'll be the contest-to-contest running. Dimmer would have reinforced that when they get the game like that, they will outrun Geelong in that, I suppose, aspect, if you like, which is one of their keys.
Dangerfield to start the final quarter in the middle, Neildy.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. Let him get around it early, then push him forward.
Interesting stat too. Cats are only team in the last 35 years to win a grand final after trailing at three-quarter time.
Benny, final quarter of 2020. It's a big one for the Cats. The prize, the 2020 Toyota AFL Premiership Cup. Final turn for KFC. Get us underway.
So Stanley, now Curvis won the tap. Dangerfield's there. Prestia, handballs out the back. Nankervis went off the ground, so it did well coming the other way. Ball spits out though to Nankervis, who hacks it forward towards half forward and low down. Lynch marks. Just that little half chance. Nankervis took it, Lynch low down, too far out to score. He shanked the kick, it's a shocker. He's kicked it straight to Stanley. Hasn't had a great night, Tom Lynch. Just one mark. That was his first mark of the game. He's had one effective disposal, and that was an absolute stinker. He kicked it straight to Big Reed Stanley.
Stanley sends it out towards the interchange gates to a one-on-one. Henderson got Graham under the footy but couldn't mark. Baker found the ball. Underground kick. Tigers are loose. One of those revolt. Handball back to Graham. Graham inside 50 with a quick left foot. Snap bounces at Castanier's feet. He left it behind. Oh, Lambert. Handball. Easy one here. Dribbling goal. Kicked by Prestia. He's got his second, and the Tigers now lead by 8. They strike the first blow of the final term. Less than a minute played, and they kick their 8th of the night. 8-4-52. Geelong 6-8-44 in this final term. Thanks to KFC. Get into KFC today and grab a popcorn chicken slab for only $10.95.
So when Reece Stanley marked that footy in the back 50, Richmond were already set up behind the ball. When he looked to play on and go wide, there was nowhere to go. He looked to the middle of the ground. They'd already set up, and then from there it became particularly difficult for the Cats to get the footy out. That ball, that marking contest that Henderson was in, he really only had two options for Geelong. He needed to mark it or put it over the boundary line. The minute was kept in play, their mids were away with the footy.
So not the start the Cats wanted. They led by 22 points at the 18-minute mark of the second term. They now trail by 8 in the opening couple of minutes of this final quarter. What have they got in the locker, the Cats? They're going to have to dig deep. Dangerfield still in the middle, alongside Guthrie and Selwood, Cochin, Edwards and Prestia in there for the Tigers. Stanley up, one though by Nankervis. It's going to be a free kick.
Dangerfield holding the man.
To Dangerfield. So the Cats, mate, Selwood's got it, but it's going to go to Dangerfield. He doesn't know it's his free kick, so they can't have been a whole lot in it.
No, that's always a bad sign when all the players run off and the guy who's got the ball has got no idea why and how.
So Dangerfield just kicks a long ball in the direction of Hawkins. Oh, he had a chance to mark it on his chest, and he fluffed it through his arms. Ball spits out the back and goes out for a throw-in deep in the right forward pocket. He did everything but mark the ball there, Tom Hawkins. He worked Asprey off the ball, and the ball hit him fair in the guts, and he dropped it.
Gary Ablett looks on from the bench. Will we see him again tonight? Final game for the Little Master. Right forward pocket, boundary throwing, Cats 35 from goal. Nankervis tried to grab it out of the ruck, was knocked out of his grasp, but into the path of Edwards. Jammed it on the boot to the wing to a one-on-one. Revolt will get a free kick after being taken high by Henderson. He was a bit stiff there, Lockie Henderson, but it'll come back to Revolt. He'll take it back to the wing. Will the Cats roll back quick enough? Can the Tigers open them up? Revolt with the footy. He sends it towards forward 50, a one-on-one. Taylor and Lynch. Lynch couldn't mark at the front. Lost it in the tackle of Stewart. Taylor fumbled. Stewart left it behind. Quick handball up to Lynch. Came from Baker. Open goal square. Bouncing ball is across the face and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in in the right forward pocket. And things are tough for the Cats at the moment, Neildy.
Oh, they certainly are. They were set up then, the Cats. Taylor just overran the footy. They were all there ready to go. And as soon as it got behind them, put Richmond in the box seat.
So throw-in. Stanley up. Martin came through, slapped away by Blitzarves. Cat's got numbers. Blitzarves throws it on the right. Shoe. Dangerous ball though. Pickett's got it. Handball to no one in particular. Hooley tries to slap it to Edwards. Coming the other way. Is that going to be in danger? It's going to be to the Cats. A free kick to Delhouse. Hooley went out of mid-air as Delhouse had his mitts on the Thomas William Sherrin. And Luke Delhouse, but again, Neil, it's a slow play.
Delhouse. Oh, that's going to be 50, I reckon. Yeah, man on the mark went over. And it might have been Marlon Pickett. So Cats just get some relief.
And they need it here, Kingy. You're right, Ben. Richmond have just clamped down. They're sending no fast plays at the moment. They're used to the corridors dried up. This might just be a bit of...
Handball off to Duncan. Duncan will drive it to the pocket. Dangerfield on the lead. Couldn't mark. Crashed the pack. Front of the pack, Henderson. Knocked out in the tackle by Bolter. He was too slow. Was Lockie Henderson. He just needed to take the tackle. Gee, Dangerfield had a fair piece of that. But no mark. And Lockie Henderson's been pinged for holding the footy. And Bolter will have the resultant free kick down in the offensive 50 for the Tigers. Noah Bolter, the only player without a premiership medal. He turned 21 yesterday, Benny.
Yeah, something of a story. It's been unbelievable this year. Just goes to the big high mung towards the wing. Henderson's there. Worked under it, Taylor. Oh, he's slow, Harry Taylor. He handballed it straight to Rioli. Martin's there. They're hunting in packs. Quick give. Rioli's wrapped up. Good tackle by Henderson. Ripped him to ground. The umpire says, give it to me. Jeez, Harry Taylor, Nearly. He's not having it. He's done well defensively on Lynch.
Or in the air, Ben. On the ground, no good. And
he's really struggling with the ball. It's the old territory.
Umpire tosses it up. Hitting it hard. Blitzarves after Blitzarves got a half it after Blitzarves got a hand on it. Here's Blitzarves giving it up to Selwood. Selwood's kick went through hands. Stanley alone. Myers, what's he going to do? He's going to drive it long to an open goal square. No, Broad getting back. Not a great kick from young Grind. And Broad holds things up, and they want to open up the near side. He goes to Grimes. He marks in the right back pocket, but the Cats have set up okay behind the footy and have blocked the exits.
Myers needed a forward to lead at him. They both led away. They didn't give. It wasn't a great kick. They didn't give him a good option either.
Henderson with a big fist from the Grimes kick, but at the front of the pack was Lambert giving a handball off. Short will clear to the wing. Oh, it's a wonderful kick too. A driving ball under the chest of Lambert.
Great kick by Short. Lambert goes down the line, making room for him as Lynch, who's now getting away from Harry Taylor. And being a focal point away from goal. He's too far out to score. He's got players ever. He's got Short. Nobody... Selwood gets over too short now, so Lynch just pops it into the pocket. Stanley there, big fist by Stanley, good work, got back and helped out the defence and saw it out for a throw in deep in the right forward pocket. But Geelong are on the back foot. They cannot afford to concede a goal here. They trail by 8 points. There's 12 minutes of game time remaining, total tools. 8-4 plays 6-8.
Boundary throw in. Lynch doing the ruck work, got it to the front of the pack. Stanley outside of the right boot. A high kick outside defensive 50. Myers and Short. Myers brought it to ground. Pickett hit it hard, missed his target. But in the end, Nankervis had time to fire a handball into space. Chance to go inside 50 through Short. Pulls the kick. Top of the square. Lynch in good position. Menegola got back with a defensive fist that just had enough on it to get it through for a behind us. Castagna was ready to pounce, and the margin is 9 to the good of the Tigers. 8-5-53. They've had one less scoring shot than Geelong. 6-8-44.
So Duncan got a little quiet this second half. Goes wide. He wants his man out there, but he's completely outpointed. Grimes is marked. It was Dangerfield. Grimes comes back inboard. He's got Cochin.
Oh, don't go forward.
Just controlling things seemingly nearly at the moment. Richmond have the Cats at arm's length. So Cochin will kick the ball inside forward 50. Stanley was up, fists out the back. Only man there for the Cats is Menegola. He goes onto his left. Ball's outside D50. He needs a mark from someone. Parfitt took it. He did okay, Parfitt. His kick though was partially smothered, and it's marked by Bolton. He was just ripped as he kicked Parfitt. The ball didn't travel far enough. Bolton puts on the afterburners from centre half forward. He goes long. Lynch getting back, and Lynch is marked in the square. He's got away from Harry Taylor in this final term, and Lynch from point blank range will put his side 15 points to the good. Geelong just unable to get the ball really out of their back half. The wing was about as far as it was going, and it was coming back with interest. It was only a matter of time, and Lynch will kick the ball 74 rows back, and he'll punch the sky, and his team are a goal away from the premiership. The margin is 15 points. They've got on top since the half-time break. 9-5-59, Geelong are 6-8-44. That's happening in this final term thanks to KFC. Get into KFC today and grab a popcorn chicken slab for only $10.95.
So, again, a couple of examples in those passages of play. Geelong could get their hands on the footy around half-back, but it was under pressure. When the ball goes forward, Richmond is so well structured. They had the outnumber already waiting. There's no really... Geelong are just struggling to get the ball in motion from the half-back line. Everything's stop-start with no run from behind. That's how they're going to have to play if they're going to get back into this one.
7 of the last 8 goals the Tigers have kicked. Looks like the fairy tale finish for Gary Ablett is unlikely to happen. They got out by as much as 22, the Cats, in the second quarter, but you never felt that it was enough. They probably needed to find another 1 or 2 to be in front at half-time. 15 points was always an open window for Richmond to climb through, and climb through they have. They've climbed through it and they've shut it behind them. Bounce in the middle. Bolter doing the ruck work. It's a beautiful tap. Martin hitting it at pace and then sending the Tigers inside forward 50, looking for the knockout blow. Taylor spoiled Lynch. Ball front of the pack, Castagna. Handball up to Pickett. Going to be a 2-time premiership player and only played 20 games. Cochin taken high by Taylor. 40 metres out from goal, and the captain can have a shot to potentially put this one to bed.
Shane, move away, please.
Trent Cochin playing game 283 this evening, looking to join a very illustrious list as a 3-time premiership captain. Listen to these names: Coventry, Reynolds, Tuck, LaFontaine, Nichols, Voss and Hodge. It's fair company to be part of as a 3-time premiership captain.
That's amazing.
Trent Cochin, right forward pocket, 45-degree angle to put a knife through the Cats. He's hung it out to the left. It won't have the carry. It's off hands and through from behind. And Geelong live to fight another day. 16 points is the deficit. They're 6-8-44 Geelong. Richmond 9-6-60 with 9.5 minutes to play in this final term of the 2020 AFL Grand Final. Warralilly live in Geelong's most awarded community.
So Stewart just goes bang down the middle. He wants Dangerfield, who just moved off the footy. And it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to Dangerfield, is it? That's going to go to Asprey. I'm not sure what happened there.
Hawkins grabbed his arm.
So ball inside forward 50, and Lynch low down. Ball in front, couldn't mark. Duncan looked a little tentative. Cochin tried to go through, couldn't take the pill. It's locked up at centre half forward. I'm not sure it's coming out. It's not. The umpire will throw it up.
Well battled.
Geelong needs something to happen, and needs something to happen pretty quickly. They have just been unable to score at all in this second half. 1 goal to Myers. That came at the 8-minute mark. It's been all one-way traffic, and it's been all yellow and black.
Well, this is where Dusty's dangerous. Blitzar's tapped it straight down his throat. Taylor and Kolodjasny kept him honest and brought him to ground. Kolodjasny now refs him up. And what's the decision? Umpire says, give it to me. Richmond are happy for this because this takes time off the clock. And it's in their forward 50. Umpire tosses it up again. Blitzarves the tap. O'Connor fumble. Now soccer off the ground. Inside 50. Bouncing ball. Myers attacking. Sharing with Vabler. Oh, somehow got out of the tackle of Bolter. Found space. Chipped for space and wanted Rowan diving but not marking. And then Grimes going off the ground. Tui coming the other way. Knocked it to advantage. Rowan through traffic. 1-2. Handball knocked down. Well done, Edwards. Handball up. Graham short. Jammed it on the boot and they're away the Tides.
That was brilliant from Richmond. It might come back because he's kicked it straight to Taylor, who carefully dinks it to Henry. But Henry now into a slow play, and this is what Richmond want. There's no dash or dare from the Cats. Henry just kicks it down the line. He's kicked it straight to Bolter. Well, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's fallen apart for Geelong in the second half.
It has. Just the one major. It gave him a 9-point lead at the 8-minute mark of the third term. All Tigers since then. A long kick, Bolter to a one-on-one. Kolajasny the spoil, but into the path of Lambert. Shares it with Martin, broke the tackle, jammed it on the boot. Open goal square, rolling and goaling. And Dusty might just have his third Norm Smith medal. They lead by 22. It's what Geelong led by in the second term. And the Tigers are home. They'll win their third in 4 years. In this unprecedented season of football, Richmond are going to outlast 17 other clubs and win their third flag in 4 seasons. And the Cats, unfortunately, are going to fall short. Dusty's just simply stunning. He's got 3, and it's hard to argue that he'll take home the Norm Smith medal for the third time and become the first man to do so, Neildy.
Well, it could well be, Kingy. He certainly played a terrific game, particularly in the second half. Again, the Cats had their opportunity. Ablett kicked that footy inside 50. They just got outnumbered at the contest that followed, and they didn't see the footy again, and a terrific goal by Martin.
Hawkins, Rowan drop marks inside forward 50. And you've got to take your opportunities in the grand final. And the Cats took them in the first half, but haven't taken them in this second half.
No, look, you're right. And look, it has taken... It's taken the Premier until the last quarter of the season to put them away.
So back in the middle, Geelong, last roll of the dice. Stanley handballs to Buse. He threw it to Selwood. Selwood had to quickly, hurriedly put it on the right shoe. Inside forward 50. Oh! Contender, he's knocked his own man out, Sam Simpson, but that was a brilliant mark.
Stand back, guys. Stand back, please.
Going back with the flight of the ball, bang!
Don't worry about the mark.
Great stuff, courage from all players. Short and Simpson coming one way, Menegola the other, and Menegola has dragged out a beauty, and in the process has knocked out Sam Simpson.
Our eyes on the footy from everybody. Short, Simpson and Menegola, who takes a Hamlin hanger, but unfortunately Sam Simpson might not have too many memories of Grand Final 2020. Just his 15th game of footy. Ironically, playing at the same age, 22, as what his dad played in 92.
Is that right?
In a Grand Final, and unfortunately going to be on the wrong end of the ledger as well, unless the Cats can mount something in this final 7.5 minutes. So we're going to get another delay in play. So chance for both teams to catch a breather, be addressed. Joel Selwood speaking to his team, especially to his midfield. He's looking at Menegola, he's looking at Guthrie, he's looking at Dangerfield. He's talking about ball movement and what the Cats can do. But right now, Sam Simpson is the concern. Medical staff with him. So in the first 5 minutes, we had Nick Loston concussed, and in the final 7.5, we have Sam Simpson lying flat on the Gabba turf. Can't question the young man's commitment. St Joseph product through the Falcons. On a 10 Falcons out there tonight for Geelong. But his night's going to end a little bit earlier than he'd hoped. This vision of Gary Ablett on the screen, unfortunately the fairy tales not going to come true, you would suspect. Joel Selwood looks on at his fallen teammate. All care being taken with Simo as they will look to place him on a stretcher. You would suspect the neck collar's gone on, and hopefully, like Nick Loston, he's able to make a quick recovery and at least be there in coming minutes as the Cats close out season 2020. Potentially not the way they wanted to. Sam Menegola needs to go back and deliver a goal. Harry Taylor sits on the bench Have they made some match-up changes there? Harry rubbing his hair. Will he come back on? Simpson's already had a line put through him, Benny, for St John of God, your emergency specialist.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. And it's just a simple, well, it's not a simple concussion. Let's hope there's nothing more untoward. So it was great courage. He was coming one way. Menegola, it was a great mark.
It was a terrific mark, and I know poor Sam Simpson's on the end of that. Just the technique to do it as well. He's a very well organised footballer, Menegola. He didn't go back open. He went back, he hunched, he rolled, he turned, so the full force of his hip and shoulder was what Sam Simpson ran into, unfortunately for him. But you're right, what have we got? 7.5 minutes of play to go, so just almost a half a quarter of footy.
He's got to kick this goal, Menegola.
It's a solid kick, but he's going to, when he kicks the ball, he's going to be 55.
Yeah, he's a good kick. I'm not sure the distance will be an issue for him. It'll be a question of accuracy. He is a thumping kick, Menegola. So if there's going to be any chance, he's got to split the middle here.
He doesn't. Kingy, you mentioned when Joel Selwood was talking, he was specifically speaking to the mids. That's where Richmond got on top of the game, in that it was just a contest-to-contest running, and the Geelong mids and their high half forwards just got beaten in that aspect of the game. They were playing against the best at it, and they just came up short for a period of time.
That's what Port Adelaide did in the qualifying final.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Similar, contest-to-contest.
Yeah.
So the Cats have got some work to do. It's not beyond them. We know they can score in bursts. But Sam Menegola either needs to find somebody to kick a goal from a pass or drill a long goal from this opportunity. Sam Simpson still being looked after. He's now on the Medicab, but we are a long way from a resumption in play. They need to firstly get Sam Simpson to the Geelong race, get him off the Medicab, and then get the Medicab off the ground. So we will wait patiently for all the care to be taken with Sam Simpson. And the Medicab now is in action and taking its time to depart the Gabba. Crowd been posted yet, Benny?
No, Kingy.
29,767.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just about to say, crowd, 29,767. I was looking at 11 minutes. I'm thinking that can't be more, going to be more than 11 people at the game.
So 7:29 to play officially. Sam Simpson looks like he's speaking with the doctor, so that's a good sign. No doubt the family concerned, and they will get an update as soon as possible from the medical staff about the health of Sam. Sean, of course, a wonderful player with the Cats through the early 1990s, a member of the 92 grand final side, and an emergency in 94 and 95, and then off to St Albans, where he was very handy as a coach, taking the Super Saints to the finals in the GFL. And still well revered down there at St Albans Reserve. Just a shot of Anastasia Palaszczuk, the Premier of Queensland, who I think football fans across Australia have much to be thankful for her, for us to get a season in. Umpire still with the footy, waiting for the nod to hand it over to Sam Menegola. Tom Lynch will stand the mark right on the 50-metre paint. There won't be any angle. He's just left of the corridor, Sam Menegola, when he takes his kick.
He's had a little bit of time to think about it, Menegola.
He has, yeah. We've had a significant delay in play. So 14:37 on the running time. Benny, what are we up to running time-wise? We've had about a 7-minute delay.
21 minutes. Yeah, there's 7 minutes and 29 seconds of game time remaining.
So Sam Simpson's come off the Medicab, and that Medicab will make its way off the ground. Brian Cook, Colin Carter both looking on, concerned. Sammy goes down the race on the stretcher. Now time for the Medicab to depart the Gabba, and we can resume play. Neil, you might as well just dare now, because there's no percentage to be played for.
No, there's not, King.
You might as well win this game trying something.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if we're sitting here talking about that, the players will be aware of it, and where possible, that's what they'll try and do.
Mark Neal in the experts chair tonight.
It's got to be smart, though. It just can't be reckless.
Helter-skelter.
Well,
It does. They'll just do everything they can to go quick and get it into one-on-one contests, use the middle of the ground. If you're going to lose the grand final, it doesn't...
Yeah, margins are relevant.
Yeah.
Richmond lead it by 22.
It has been a fantastic half of footy by Richmond. They've just... exactly what the Cats were doing in the first half, they did in the second half.
There's 7 goals to 1.
Yeah, they're just dominant, running around the ball, and that contest-to-contest running is a massive thing.
All right, play to resume. Sam Menegola with the footy inside the centre square.
So Menegola, I'm suggesting he can kick the distance. Surely he's not going to take his allotted 30 seconds. He's had 7.5 minutes. He comes in, he hoists a long ball, he's hit it well, and he's kicked the goal. A glimmer of hope from the Cats, long-range bomb from Sam Menegola. Margin is back to 16. He's got his second. 7-8-50. Richmond at 10-6-66. Fourth quarter, thanks to KFC. Get into KFC today and grab a popcorn chicken slab for only $10.95.
Well, now, Joel Selwood's had plenty of time to address his troops, and he would have spoken about all the things that we spoke about just trying to go as quickly as you possibly can, as direct as you possibly can, roll the dice, and let's see how we go. That is a massive kick after standing still for 7.5 minutes. He's kicked it from 55 metres. That's a great kick.
He is quite a penetrating kick, Menegola.
7-8-50 Geelong, Richmond 10-6-66. Still time if Geelong are good enough. Can they break the Tigers down in this final 7 minutes and 4 seconds? Final turn thanks to KFC. We're here for Warralilly. Live in Geelong's most awarded community. Bounce not too far away. Umpire Fleer puts it down. Stanley to go against Nankervis. Stanley just mounts Nankervis, who grabbed it out of the ruck. And the umpire says, give it to me. So Nankervis was optimistic, grabbing it out of the ruck in the middle of the ground. Stanley wins the tap down. Socket forward by Edwards, not for the first time tonight, to right half forward. Rolling ball, looking for Lynch. Taylor's there, try to palm it away into the path of Menegola. Got to get a handball away, did. Graham will be first there, harassed by Taylor. Bit of the fumbles and then mishit a handball. Castagna socketed into the boot of a teammate, was it? Was it Presti's foot it came off? Or was it a cat? No, it came off a cat.
Came off Harry Taylor.
Now that's unfortunate for Geelong, and the free kick belongs at right half forward to the Tigers, and it's in the hands of, it was Taylor's off the boot of Castagna into Taylor, and Castagna sends it inside 50.
He does, top of the square. Stanley's there with the big fist. The ball's gone out for a throw-in deep in the right forward pocket. This will suit the Tigers. It'll create pressure for the Cats and suck time off the clock. So I've got to work, fashion an entry, a clean entry out of their defensive 50. Lynch having a run on the ruck. Castagna taken by Henry. His kick was partially smothered. Taken by Graham. Graham's flying shot at goal is off. Missed everything out on the full. Geelong need to try a switch here or something. Stewart's got it, but he's hemmed in against his own defensive point post.
Stewart brings a broadcast side for Warralilly, a high ball. What's he got? Stanley flying. Ball doesn't get out the back. Well, did, but only to Short. Short now turns and kicks inside forward. 50, uncontested. Revolt's mark. Nobody went with him. And if it wasn't over before, it will be over now, unfortunately, for the Cats. Revolt with the shot at goal to put the icing on the cake for the Tigers. Kicked one already tonight, Jack, in that third quarter burst by the Tigers that turned the game on its head. Jack Revolt to put the margin back out to 22. Cats fans hoping for a miss to make the margin only 17 from 48 metres. Revolt pulls it to the left and has missed. So the Cats momentarily stay alive, and Stewart quickly wants to go up the middle.
He does. He just goes with a long 60-metre bomb into the middle of the Gabba. Then Curvis is there, so too Dangerfield. Tried to fist it forward. Buse took it. He's immediately tackled. It's going to be a free kick to Buse. He's a chance for the Cats. Buse not sure what to do this way and that way. Then he just goes with a long ball. You only got one man there. Rowan's got about 9 to beat. Ground level Dalhouse. Handball's wide. Duncan. His hand pass to Myers. Not great. Coming the other way was Tui. Tui did well. Picked the footy up. Lowered the eyes into the pocket. He wants Ablett. Can't do the business. Cochin. The skipper got back and saved the day in front of Gaz. And Richmond fans love it. He kicks it about 3 metres, not far enough. Presti's hand pass. He tries to go to Baker. Baker on the ground, releases. Selwood tries to work it to a teammate. Can't do so. Hooley's there. Selwood wants a free. Umpire said, give it to me. I'll throw it up inside forward 50 for the Cats.
Again, we saw when the ball goes in high into the Richmond back line, if you don't have a legitimate marking option other than Hawkins, you're just going to get gobbled up.
Stanley wins the tap down broad, just a little throw out the back to Hooley. Hooley lost it in the tackle, then fisted it forward. All the turnover, Ablett, handball, Stanley, quick snap, went up the chimney, touched off the boot by Pickett. High ball, Guthrie just wanted to fist it forward, buy some territory, rolling ball. Hooley happy to see it out in the right forward pocket. Geelong need a goal from here, nearly. They can't afford it to go out and try and bring it back.
Now they certainly do, Kingy. They need, what have we got, 4 minutes 20. They need 3 goals to win.
Right forward pocket. Kicking to the left of your K-Rock radio. Ball back into play. Nankervis front position. Hawkins tried to win from behind. Cochin, slick hands. Pickett jammed it on the boot towards half-back. But Kolajasny, rare time in front of Martin, is marked.
So Kolajasny, what can he conjure? The clearances seem to be well in favour of Richmond. It's after half-time. He goes long. He wants Dangerfield to hit the deck. Can't mark, and the ball again fisted out for a throw. And this suits Richmond. Just eking time off the clock. 3 minutes 57 seconds total tools, game time remaining. Dangerfield has had, I think, just 2 or 3 possessions since half-time.
Ball back into play, Nankervis and Hawkins. Hawkins tried to grab it out of the ruck. Selwood tried to stop the loose ball off the ground, knocked forward by Nankervis. Edwards is away at half-back, driving the kick towards centre-half forward. Foot race now, Lynch and Stewart. Stewart been great tonight for the Cats. You'll find it defensively. Fire a handball to Henry. Henry steps inside Lynch. Neat little kick on the outside of the right boot. Tui's got it at right half-back. Last roll of the dice here for the Cats.
He goes to Myers. Myers hasn't got much on. He just has to go wide to Ablett and couldn't come back inboard there, Myers. Ablett, he wants to move it. He does. Inside forward 50. Grimes with the spoil. Duncan. Ground level Hooley. Underground hand pass was good to Bolton. Bolton gives to Baker. Baker on the left down the line. The kick is a good one, and Lynch should mark. Didn't. Stewart did okay. Lynch stabs it though. Edwards. This could be the knockout blow to Rioli, who had it spent before he took it. Coming the way was Taylor. He looked slow. Taylor, he handballed it straight to Bolton. Bolton from centre half forward wobbles towards goal and misses everything. And goodness me, the end can't come fast enough for Harry Taylor. And the ball has gone out for a throw-in deep in the left forward pocket for the Tigers.
So under 3 minutes now. Cats need everything to go their way. Just the 1 goal in this second half. 2 goals rather in this second half. Blitzar's down to the front. He pumped it straight to Lynch doing the roving quick snap. Has missed to the left through for behind. Best the Cats can hope for now, I suspect, is a draw in regulation, Benny. But I think we're hoping against hope, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2 minutes 48, Kingy. The premiership is one and done. Long kick in from Stewart. Hughes at the spoil. Lambert. Handballs back inside forward 50. Dangerfield. Just his 4th touch of the second half is an absolute stinker out wide. Not sure who you're trying to kick that to. It goes to McIntosh. He gives to Baker. Baker into the pocket, and Rewell marks on the lead in front of Stewart. And Jack Rewell will take his allotted 30 seconds. And even if he doesn't kick the goal, if he scores, the margin will be 19. And Richmond are going to win their 3rd flag in 4 seasons and stamp themselves amongst the upper echelon of football dynasties. In modern footy, 3 out of 4 flags is very, very sharp shooting. And Rewell, from a tight angle, comes in, and he has kicked the goal. He's kicked the goal. Richmond are going to be premiers in 2020. A blistering second half of footy to which the Cats had absolutely no answer. 11-8-74. Geelong is 7-8-50. It's been an avalanche of goals after half-time. And the yellow and black are going to prevail. 4th quarter thanks to KFC. Rip into KFC and grab a popcorn chicken slab for only $10.95.
Again, just the swarming Richmond smaller players and the mid-side players, they have just been fantastic in the second half. And just their repeat effort, their repeat speed efforts have just been too great for the Cats. ripping shot at goal by Jack Reebok. He's outside the boundary when he kicked that.
Damien Hardwick knows. He knows that the Cats can't make up 24 points in a minute 43. 3 in 4 years. So Damien Hardwick adds another premiership to his collection, 2 as a player, now 3 as a coach. Bounce back in the middle. It's all window dressing now. Stanley wins the tap down. Cochin does the roving, and a neat little left foot kick is good to half forward. And the mark taken by the not often seen Rioli tonight. He can come short to half forward, and the mark's taken out there by McIntosh. And they'll just hold the footy up here, the Tigers. They'll enjoy this final minute and 20. A high kick. He sits it towards the goal square and uncontested. Stanley drops what he should have taken. Time to recover on ground. And he's just handball it straight to Dusty. Dusty from the tight angle has kicked the APCO service station's goal of the night to put the exclamation mark on a wonderful Richmond performance. 4 goals for Dusty. He will win, you would suspect, his 3rd Norm Smith medal. The margin doesn't really do justice to the contest, but the Tigers have been dominant. From the time they trailed by 22 points at the 18-minute mark of the second quarter, they have held Geelong to just 2 goals while kicking 10 themselves. Reece Stanley, a moment that he will want to forget very quickly. Drop mark and then a handball give. It was a goal assist straight into the bread basket of Dusty, and he doesn't miss those opportunities. A wonderful finish from a wonderful player. He's one of the game's greats on the biggest stage. 4 goals for Dusty and a 30-point Tiger lead.
That goal was unbelievable. The strength of Dusty to stop before the boundary line. He was getting tackled by Dangerfield, and he just took that around his body. That's outstanding.
Yeah, Norm Smith. But I think Pete Ryan need to look at the stats. Now Curvis handballs to Cochin. This is icing on the cake now to Graham. Graham lace it out to Rewalt. And Geelong, well, this is just rubbing salt into the wound. Damien Hardwick and the coaching staff have come down to the bench to celebrate. It's been an avalanche in the second half. 9 goals to 2. Geelong looked to be sailing at 22 points to the good at the 18-minute mark of the second term. Since then, Martin has kicked 4. The Tigers have kicked 10. And this is for 11 goals since the late stages of the second quarter, and Rewalt is off target, just off to the right, minor score. And that might be the final score, Kingy. 12-9-81 plays 7-8-50.
We can only marvel at Richmond, be disappointed for the Cats. They can't send Gary Ablett the way they wanted to. But the dynasty, it is a dynasty now. 3 in 4 years. Well done, Richmond. They deserved it. They've outlasted 17 other clubs to win the premiership of 2020. There's no asterisk attached to this. They are the deserving flag winners. Geelong, disappointed. Enjoy it, Richmond fans. You deserve it.
Risking head and shin. If we're behind, then never mind. We'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final sirens call. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger. Yellow and black, we're from Tigerland.
It wasn't to be for the Geelong Football Club, unfortunately. Richmond 12-9-81. Geelong 7-8-50. The Cats, they had their chances. They led by 22 points during the second quarter, but it just never seemed to be enough. And in the end, Richmond just storming home. Their second half, 9 goals they kicked, 9 goals to 2. Absolutely steamrolled the Cats in the end. They just were able to do better things at the right time than what Geelong could. And that's why they are premiers for 2020.
A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and shin. If we're behind, then never mind, we'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final sirens call. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger. Yellow and black, we're from Tiger.
think we can go down ground level for Geelong Marine World in this fifth quarter for Signature Homes and City to Serve Solar, where Trent Cotchin speaking with Abby Holmes.
Consistently show up every year, and this year's no different. They challenged us, but credit to our boys. They just continue to show the resilience that we know they can, and not just the boys on the field. I'm so proud of the boys that have just come out to the field. They've probably had a more challenging year than anyone without having a second-tier competition, and our fans, well, look at them all here. Everyone back home, thank you so much. It means the world to us. And without you, we honestly we're not here.
Well, you just touched on it. Everybody involved at the footy club, but talk us through the mindset and the mentality of this group, because so much, I guess, has gone wrong. You've had to vacate Victoria. There's been injuries, unavailability of players. There's been off-field sagas, but you've never lost sight of this goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we've spoken a lot about the journey, and we effectively celebrated. We came out here, however many days it was ago, about 110 I think it was, treating it like an adventure, and it's been one hell of an adventure. And to finish off with this is just simply outstanding, and I couldn't be more proud of our whole organisation.
Congratulations, Coach. Go and enjoy it. Soak it up. Well done.
Trent Cotchin there. Gary Ablett is done. And a little bit of emotion there for the little master. 357 games consoled by Zach Guthrie and Jordan Clark. It didn't start well for Gary. A shoulder injury early provided him with issues. But the Cats, unfortunately, it won't be their year. They will have to wait another one to try and deliver. And what does that lineup look like? Is it involve Harry Taylor? We're not sure. Probably not. Who else is going to be there? We're not sure. Will Jeremy Cameron be part of the lineup? Here's Shane Edwards talking to Channel 7.
That was the hardest game I've ever played.
Dusty, he's a pretty special player, isn't he? 4 goals. Do you reckon he's got his third Norm Smith sewn up?
Yep. he had it before the game, I reckon. He's just an amazing player to play with. And I'm going to look back and cherish every game I've played with him.
You are speechless, I can tell. Go and enjoy it. What an incredible atmosphere.
That was very quick with Shane Edwards for Geelong Marine World. Cruising, fishing or fun. Get on the water with Geelong Marine World. And we'll be devastated here for the Cats as Paddy Dangerfield and Jack Revolt have a little word inside the centre square. So Paddy, the thing he's so desperate for, eludes him again. And that window closes a little bit more, unfortunately. Gary Ablett, he won't get the fairy tale finish.
So I think Richmond, Jack Rewalt just went over there to chat to Patrick Dangerfield. I think the Tigers are looking to do some sort of guard for Gary Ablett as he leaves, which would be the first time in the history of the grand final.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether Patrick Dangerfield said, well, maybe not, but we'll wait and see what happens. But I'm pretty sure that they were talking about some sort of guard.
So how do they get that done? I suppose there's no Lee Matthews didn't get one when they lost in 85 Hawthorn, but that's a long time ago, and the way players are honoured these days is probably a little bit different to how it was 35 years ago. But exultation for the Richmond Footy Club. They will have the presentation ceremony shortly, and Ash Barty will be the one presenting the cup. It would have been great to see Ian Nankervis up there. I suspect he might have done a Bobby Davis in 2009, Neildy, and Bobby basically lingered and didn't want to let go of the cup when he handed it to Mark Thompson and Tom Harley. So we'll wait for that presentation ceremony. While we do, we might get a breakaway. Fifth quarter for Signature Homes and City to Serve Solar. And we'll come back to pay tribute to the Richmond Footy Club. But Geelong, unfortunately, falling short by 31 points. It was Richmond 12-9-81, Geelong 7-8-50. Thanks to Warralilly. 10 years at the top and still so much more to come. Live, breathe, K-Rock Footy.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, Warralilly.
K-Rock, Geelong's home of the hits.
You could bring down my level of concern. Feeling good.
You want the hits? We got them.
I'll be fine. Bring down my level of concern. Am I falling in love with the one that could break my heart?
Geelong's home of the hits. K-Rock 955.
Has all this time at home made you realise how you'd really like to live? Perhaps it's time to design your forever home. Hi, Gary Watts from Signature Homes Geelong, your specialist custom home builder. For over 15 years, we've designed and built hundreds of stunningly unique architectural homes across Geelong, Bellarine and the Surf Coast. Explore the possibilities for your custom home with a free design consultation with our architect. See signaturehomes.net.au, your award-winning custom design professionals.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fine Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCTs 1308 8349.
At home, on the work site, in the office, there are some big cleaning problems you just don't want to deal with.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Steamatic has real solutions to your cleaning problems. Graffiti removal, kitchen canopy cleaning, blasting services or the big industrial jobs, they're equipped to handle it all. Steamatic, a standout job every time and on standby when you need them most.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Essington Street, Grovedale. Visit steamaticgeelong.com.au.
With over 250 garden and building products, South Point Garden Supplies offers the largest range on the Surf Coast. Sand, soil and mulch for the garden, driveway toppings, decorative feature rocks, pavers and building supplies. Rejuvenate and enhance the look of your garden this spring with fresh mulch or organic composts. Delivering to commercial and residential projects throughout Geelong, the Surf Coast and inner city Melbourne. Or bring your own trailer. South Point Garden Supplies, behind Bunnings off the Surf Coast Highway Torquay or southpt.com.au. Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, Warralilly.
We can only marvel at Richmond, be disappointed for the Cats. They can't send Gary Ablett the way they wanted to. But the dynasty, it is a dynasty now. 3 in 4 years. Well done, Richmond. They deserved it. They've outlasted 17 other clubs to win the Premiership of 2020. There's no asterisk attached to this. They are the deserving flag winners. Geelong, disappointed. Enjoy it, Richmond fans. You deserve it. Yes, Richmond Footy Club, 110 days in a hub. They left Victoria in early July thinking they'd be gone for 5 weeks tops. They haven't come home. But I tell you what, I'd spend 110 days in a hub, Newty, if I knew that the Premiership Cup was going to be taking seat 1A on the plane.
Yes, Kingy, I think we all would. It was the, what were you saying 3/4 time, the grand final that the season deserved, and I think you were right. And, you know, the Premier took until 3/4 time or the last quarter of the grand final to get on top, and Richmond are a phenomenal team. They've won 3 premierships in 4 years. They had their challenges, and it was interesting. You know, some of their players were sent home for, you know, some pretty poor misdemeanours, but they managed the ones that were left, gel together, and they've got some superstars, and they got some superstars that can perform when it counts. Dustin Martin is, like, he should win, clearly, the Norm Smith medal for the 3rd time. That is just unbelievable. They're hard-running smalls and mids in that second half. They were sensational.
Well,
they deserved to win.
We were up and about at the 80-minute mark of the second term. Hawkins kicks the goal. The Cats go to a 22-point lead and are dominating. From that point, it was 10 goals to 2.
Yeah.
From the 23-minute mark when Martin kicked that snap just before half-time, the Tigers then blasted 9 goals to 2 after half-time and absolutely put Geelong to the sword. It was quite extraordinary how a game that Geelong seemingly controlled for a quarter and then basically 80% of the first half was gone within.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Martin goal late in the quarter.
Yep.
Then followed by 2 at the start of the third, Revolt and Castagna, and that put it to bed. So
there'll be talking points, obviously. I mean, look, people. The third quarter, you know, Patrick Dangerfield had one effective disposal. It was a handball. And in the final quarter, he had 2 effective disposals. So he's had 3 effective disposals after half-time. Dustin Martin has run amok at the other end. You know, the Cats just couldn't go with them. You know, lack of leg speed out of the back half probably hurts them. It's easy to point fingers, but look, they had a great year, the Cats. Unfortunately, the last half is going to leave a bitter taste in their mouth.
Hopefully motivation.
The way that they just petered away and petered out. because they were really dominant there for a period, and it was all looking rosy. But to sort of fold up like that in the second half, hopefully burns them over summer and into next year.
So I think we're about to go down to the ground announcer. Our feed from the host broadcaster will have the audio, and we will take that as the umpires are being recognised for their performance on grand final night. Here is the presentation ceremony. I think they send one umpire up, and that's one of the boundary umpires up to collect the medals on behalf of all the media. Here is the presentation ceremony.
More than 110 days away from home, and tonight on the game's biggest stage, they were gallant in defeat. Please welcome their captain, Joel Selwood, to the stage to say a few words.
He'll speak for Geelong Marine World. Cruising, fishing, all fun to get on the water with Geelong Marine World, and I've no doubt the captain will be classy as always.
Firstly, to Damien and Trent, you guys just too good against the Richmond Football Club. We'll stay in envy of what these guys are doing right now, and we've just got to chase them. To our members and supporters, we can't thank you enough for the support. It's a really tough year what 2020's been, but we've got your support everywhere up here in Queensland. To Ford and our sponsors, to AFL Queensland for the special job that they've done. And I just want to quickly speak about our group. I just want to thank them for their efforts. They've been outstanding. We had 161 at one stage in the hub, and we've loved the journey. We just couldn't quite get there. And just quickly, there's a little bald bloke over there. We just want to say we love you and we thank you what you've done for the game.
Joel Selwood paying respect to Gary Ablett, who with a nice little touch with a hand to the crowd. We won't see him again.
Well said, Joel, well said.
We've had him for 19 years, and he will depart the game as one of the greats.
Folks, please join me in welcoming Byron Pickett to present the Norm Smith Medal for the player best, judged best of ground in the 2020 Toyota AFL Grand Final. And the winner of the Norm Smith Medal with 4 goals, 21 disposals, Dustin Martin.
Dustin Martin, his numbers please, Benny.
Yeah, 21 disposals, 4 goals, 4 clearances, 10 contested possessions, 5 inside 50s and 3 tackles.
First of all, I'd just like to thank Geelong for an awesome game. You're an awesome club, and well done to Gads on an unbelievable career. To the AFL, Toyota, the government, and last but not least, the Richmond Footy Club. Let's go!
He's pretty happy, Dusty. The only thing Dusty's disappointed about this year, there is no Vegas.
True. Yeah. He'll find something. I've got a feeling.
It is every footballer's dream as a kid
party
to be on the stage grand final day or grand final night. So it's with great pleasure that we welcome the 22 representatives of the NAB and AFL Auskick Note program, who will present the medallions to each player of the winning team. First up, number 1, Nick Philoston.
Benny, I might get you to give the stats because high for each player is there recognised.
Lawson was knocked out at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. He had 1 disposal and 2 tackles.
He's managed to get out of his tracksuit back into his jumper, and he's wearing a pair of sneakers. But it's fantastic that he can receive his medal and be up and about.
So Dylan Grimes played on Patrick Dangerfield defensively. Was really good. Didn't get a lot of the ball himself. He only had 3 effective disposals, 4 in total.
Good second half. Unsided in the first half.
Number 3, Dion Prestia.
So Prestia, the former Gold Coast Sun, 14 disposals, 4 goals. He kicked 2 goals, including the first of the game at the 19-minute mark.
One of those little mid-sized players who got him back into the game in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was
Number 4,
good.
Dustin Martin.
So the Norm Smith medalist, we just read out his stats before, 4 goals, 21 possessions.
Some sort of player, Ben.
Yeah, he's an absolute gun. So creative and skillful.
Straight to the Hall of Fame, and he's done.
Number 7, Liam Baker.
So Baker, something of a revelation this year for the Tigers. 14 touches off half-back. He had a clearance, 3 marks, 2 tackles.
again form part of that contest-to-contest running, that they just were too good for the Cats in that second half.
Number 8, Jack Riewoldt.
So every player up till Baker, a 3-time premiership player. Baker a 2 now, Riewoldt a 3.
So Riewoldt, 2 goals, 2 from 3 marks and 9 touches.
When the game breaks open, and it did towards the end, Riewoldt and Lynch played very well.
Congratulations, you played really well.
Sarah, you come there with me. Thank you so much. Come on, Sarah.
Oh, how nice was that? Jack takes his 2 children up there. The Oz kicker says she played very, very well. Jack's fantastic in that regard. He gets it. Shane Edwards now 3-time premiership player.
Yeah, leading possession winner on the ground, 27 touches, 9 clearances, 4 inside 50s and 2 tackles.
Classy player, one of their A graders, and had a great night.
Turns 32 tomorrow.
Number 11, Jason Castagna.
So Castagna buzzed around.
A bit more accurate than last year, Benny.
He was. I think he did a bit of nice accuracy post-game. 11 touches, 1 goal, 1 he kicked.
Again, super quick, goes up and down the ground, good endurance, and second half.
Number 12, David Asprey.
So Asprey missed a lot of the year with injury, came in late and was basically dethroned from the full-back position, had to play second ruck, 7 touches, played his role, 5 effective and a tackle.
Also having him in the side
Number
with Bolter
14,
could go into the ruck.
So Hawley had a pretty quiet night by his standards. He only had 4 kicks, 11 disposals, 1 tackle, but he too missed obviously a chunk of the season by staying in Melbourne when the teams flew up, but wins another premiership.
Classy player, and who's brought the entire creche up to get his medal.
Number 15, Jaden Short.
So Short was good for the Tigers. 25 possessions, 18 of them hit the target. He had a couple of clearances, 7 inside 50s. He was a team leading in 7 inside 50s and 6 tackles.
Off the half-back line, it's some sort of play.
Number 17, Daniel Rioli.
So Rioli was probably one of the Tigers that had what you would consider a quiet night. Well, a few of them had quiet first halves. He only had 1 kick, Rioli, 4 tackles, didn't hit the scoreboard.
So we will be speaking hopefully with one of the vanquished Cats a little bit later post presentation.
Number 19, Tom Lynch.
So Lynch, he really only got going in the final quarter. Taylor actually defensively did a reasonable job on him, but that was when there was pressure on the midfield. As soon as the pressure came off, Lynch started to get involved. 3 marks, 8 possessions, 1 goal, 1.
Do you think Tom's happy with his move from the Suns?
Yeah. Just quietly. Yeah, Bolter was, well, he's probably one of the revelation of the season. He came from nowhere, played like Bruce Dool in the back half all year. He went into the ruck tonight and was actually looked quite comfortable.
Absolutely.
In the ruck. He was absolutely fantastic.
Turned 21 yesterday. Hard to believe that Kane Lambert had to wait so long for his AFL opportunity through the Northern Blues. So he was under Carlton's nose. He went to Williamstown and then finally got his chance.
Yeah, and he's taken it, grabbed it.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful player.
So he had 13 possessions, 1 goal. So Big Nan Curvis did the business in the ruck. He had 8 touches. He actually did not take a mark. Took a few last week against Port Adelaide, a few crucial ones against Port Adelaide, but he had 8 hit-outs to advantage.
Richmond won this premiership because Toby Nankervis stood up in the last quarter last week.
Yeah, it was a big part of it. Oh, he got fresh air too by the young kid who went to shake his hand, and the kid just absolutely fresh air.
Dusty and Jack have come over to shake his hand to make up for it. What about Shea Bolton's emergence, Benny? Now a 2-time premiership player.
Very good player. 16 touches, 7 tackles. Really relished the chance to play in the midfield.
Number 33,
Edwards didn't make the journey up to the hub. Camden McIntosh, underrated player, kicked the second goal for the Tigers at the 22-minute mark of the first term. Just does his business. Little fanfare. 13 possessions, 2 tackles and a goal.
He also had to reinvent himself halfway through the year. As you said, lost his spot, came back stronger.
So Graham, one of those foot soldiers, 17 touches, 5 tackles, 3 inside 50s, 10 contested possessions, one of only 2 Tigers alongside with Martin to reach double figures in contested possessions. Nathan Broad battled Dangerfield early, had a couple of shaky moments, might have got a head knock, but he had 8 touches. Wasn't about touches for him, he just does his job defensively.
He certainly does. There's a number. They don't have too many of those, but they do work together very well in a great defensive system.
Don't think he'll be putting his premiership medal anywhere other than around his own neck. in these celebrations.
Oh, Tom.
Number 50, Marlon
Not touching that
Pickett.
one. So Marlon Pickett, the number 50,
playing his 20th game, and he's a two-time premiership player.
Yeah, that's quite true. He's got enough kids up there to. He's got a few. He's got 4 of them up there with him, and the old Pickett Meister. He had 14 touches. He didn't take a mark. 5 tackles.
He's brought half the school with him.
Got a. Sure, the tally must have been on the blink.
Pretty simple
Ladies and
game.
gentlemen, the captain of Richmond, number 9, Trent Cotchin.
So Cotchin, geez, he was pretty good. 19 touches, 4 tackles, 9 contested possessions, 6 clearances.
So these are the names: Sid Coventry, Dick Reynolds, Michael Tuck, Alan LaFontaine, John Nichols, Michael Voss and Luke Hodge.
Congratulations.
Trent Cotchin joins them as 3-time premiership captains. Extraordinary.
Oh, absolutely amazing, Trent Cotchin. And he changed the way he played the game to be a premiership captain. Fantastic.
The John McHale medal for the coach, the winning coach, the 2020 AFL Toyota Premiership from Richmond, Damien Hardwick.
So Malcolm Blight, former Cats coach, North Melbourne star, of course, an Adelaide premiership coach, St Kilda coach too for a little while as well. But a legend of the game in recent years, Malcolm Blight. And Damien Hardwick, now 3-time premiership coach.
Great effort, Demo. Malcolm Blight, the greatest one-liner deliverer of all time.
So Damien Hardwick still behind Tom Hafey. Here's Trent
First and
Cotchin.
foremost, I grew up a Geelong supporter. What a dream come true to play you guys in a grand final. I've been envious of you since, arriving at Richmond a long time ago. It's a credit to the way you continue to show up, perform every year. So thank you and well done on the year. Thank you to the AFL and the Queensland government and their partners. It's been incredible, 110 days or so being up here. Didn't expect it to be this way, but everyone's treated it like an adventure and it's been a lot of fun. There's been some challenges, but nevertheless very grateful to be a part of it. To our Richmond fans here, back home, and all across Australia, it never seems to amaze me just how proud and loud you are. Wherever we are, you show up in massive numbers, you give your all, and we're so grateful for your support. To our major sponsors, Jeep, Nib, NIB, Swinburne, Puma, Host Plus, thank you for your ongoing support. It's incredible. Footy clubs wouldn't exist without your support and help all the way through the year. The Elite Accommodation and all their staff, thank you so much for all your help, your love and support, your amazing meals. It's been an incredible journey and a big part of this year's story, and we're very thankful. To our families of both players, staff, here tonight, but also back home, we know how much you've sacrificed. It's been one hell of a journey. I hope that you can sit there in front of your TV with a massive smile, and the people that are here are incredible. Finally, the Richmond organisation, all of our staff here at home, and all of my teammates and coaches, we did it. What an exciting.
Thank you. To Brian and Chris, your side is simply amazing. We admire you guys enormously, what you've been able to do over the course of the journey. You're an incredible competitor. That grand final today was something I think the whole AFL was looking forward to, and I think we got a hell of a game. So well done. You're a terrific organisation. We'll see you again next year. You're an incredible side. To the Queensland Government and the State of Queensland, we thank you so much for allowing us to play. It's the one thing we wanted to do, and you allowed us to do that, so we thank you incredibly much. To my wonderful family who are home, it's a little bit emotional with this. You've given me incredible support. You're not here, unfortunately. The circumstances we're in make it incredibly difficult. So all the people that we did leave behind in Melbourne, together with all the Tiger faithful here, we applaud you. but we always also remember those people in Melbourne that have done it tough. So thank you guys for supporting us from afar. Like thank our sponsors, Jeep, Nib, Puma, Host Plus, the Swinburne Centre. Without you guys, we'd be nothing. We thank you once again. And then finally, this team. We started at the bottom of the mountain with everyone else, but to be the very last side on the top is an incredible journey. We've had an enormous amount of fun, we've had some incredible challenges, and one thing I will say, when push comes to shove, boys, you guys raise the bar. You're an incredible side, an incredible organisation, so to Brendan and Peggy, I applaud you guys as well. I can't wait to see your statue smacker on the outside of Putt Road. And finally, to the Tiger Army, both here and far, we thank you very much. Without you guys, we don't exist. We play for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of inviting Ash Barty to the stage to present the Premiership Cup to Captain Trent Cotchett and the coach, Damien Hardwick.
Richmond, premiers in 2020. The cup goes up, the players hit the stands, and Richmond will celebrate their third flag in 4 years. The confetti goes, and the Tigers will celebrate their third flag in 4 seasons. A 31-point win over the Cats in the end, 12-9-81. Playing 7-8-50. The Cats held to just 2 goals in the second half. Richmond banging on 8 goals. They in fact kicked 9 of the last 11 to turn a 22-point deficit into a 31-point win, a 53-point turnaround. So the Cats now will pick themselves up, dust themselves off and head off the Gabba. They'll head back to the hub in the Gold Coast. They've got a couple of days to vacate that hub, and then they'll make a decision about whether players stay north. Do they come home to Victoria? And we don't think we'll see them till sometime in January as Gary Ablett heads off, standing beside Reece Stanley towards the Geelong race. So as Richmond celebrate, we're hoping to get some vision of Gary Ablett leaving the field for the final time. We're a little bit dictated to by the host broadcaster in terms of what vision we get here into the K-Rock hub. And Richmond will go and celebrate, but it looks like the Tigers have done the bolt and they're going to head towards the Geelong race, and they will be part of a guard of honour for Gary Ablett, which I think is a very nice touch from Richmond. It's so easy, I suspect, Neildy, when you are the Premier, that you would get caught up in your celebration. So it is.
It can be Kingy. Sorry, I was going to say, with that, those things are planned in advance. That's why the organisations are so big. You saw Revolt go over and talk to Dangerfield about it. That would have been planned, and they would have told the senior players earlier in the week, and they'll get it all organised. And as they said, Joel Selwood said at one stage there was 160 odd people in the hub. They're massive organisations, and they do it very well. It's very professional.
So it's been a tough year for the Abletts. Jordan, his wife, losing her mother during the season. We found out that young Levi is suffering from a degenerative condition. Gary spent time away. He was gone for more than 2 months. He went home, and then he had to spend a couple of weeks in the hub and transitioning into the Geelong hub. And he came back, and he wasn't his electrifying self. He left us with some memories, though, from the preliminary final that helped get the Cats through to this grand final. And he's just posing for some photos now down on ground level before, I suspect. I'm not sure whether he'll be chaired off or whether he'll walk through the guard of honour, but Richmond have made their way over there. So Simon's just saying to Gary that Simon Lloyd saying to Gary that Richmond had come over. Family allowed onto the ground. They've got some mixed zones down the ground for family and media and the like. So Gary will head back onto the ground. He gives a wave, and quite ironic, Neildy, that Gold Coast, who he captained, their first home and away game was actually at the Gabba against Carlton. They hadn't finished Metricon off in time, and they started at the Gabba. So he walks off the ground where he led one of the AFL's newest clubs. So he will head over from the family zone, and you can see the emotion just starting to come onto the face of Gary Ablett, the 36-year-old. From Mottawarri and the Geelong Falcons, round 1, 2002 is where the journey started, and 357 games later, it comes to a conclusion. He'll go straight into the Hall of Fame in 5 years' time. Umpires, players, what a wonderful touch. We've been so blessed here at K-Rock to be able to call this man. 247 games for the Cats, 110 for the Suns, which by my count means K-Rock's called him on more than 250 occasions. Throw that in with the 242 games his dad played, and we've had the privilege on K-Rock to call the Ablett name 500 times over the last 36 years. He says farewell for the final time with the thumbs up. Down into the rooms he goes, and the Geelong players follow in single file, and that is Geelong done and dusted. Harry Taylor, he has the camera on him. We don't know whether that's it for him, but we suspect it may be. What does the future hold?
He couldn't possibly go on.
No, I wouldn't have thought. 280 games, a wonderful return for a player that didn't make his debut till he was 21. He was hidden away, we understand. The Cats knew about him, and he was just very quietly kept under the radar. Geelong didn't make a song and dance about the key defender from the West, and they knew they needed to get one because it's quite interesting, sliding doors. And it might have been this ground, Benny, that might have caused that sliding door. That's where Matty Egan got hurt.
Yeah.
Matty Egan doesn't get hurt. Does Harry Taylor find his way onto Geelong's list?
Yeah, maybe not. Sliding doors moment, as you mentioned, Kingy, and Matty Egan was destined to be a really good player.
All-Australian that year.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was cut short. He'd taken up footy late as well, Matty Egan. He was a really good tennis player as a youngster, but Richmond are celebrating the spoils. They're just a really, really good team, and they do what good teams do, or any good sports teams or people do. They rise to the challenge. The harder it gets, the better they get, and that's what a lot of clubs strive to do, and they can't always get there, but Richmond have mastered the art, and they're just coming into the game. The one thing that I knew, you knew Richmond were going to play well. You hoped Geelong played well, and you thought they were going to. The second half, it fell apart for the Cats, and look, they'll analyse it. I assume they'll analyse it and look at it. And
Ben, they'll analyse it within a millimetre of its existence. So I think, for me, mate, they're two completely different philosophical organisations. Richmond did bottom out, and they did grab a whole lot of top 10 picks, and they are still there. And they went through some torrid times. Dimmer nearly lost his position, and they got shored up off the ground, and they've stuck with it. Whereas the Geelong organisation is no, we're not doing that, and they've done an amazing job, and they will continue to attract the high-end talent. That's what they want to do. So Cameron comes into that side, they'll get the deal done. Geelong get deals done. Higgins comes into that side. It'll be a production line again. That's the way they do it. And look, at three-quarter time in the grand final, the scores were, 1 point the difference, and it took...
If you're looking at it right now, Newty, and you're coaching Geelong, this game's just happened.
Yep.
I know you wouldn't be analysing it as quickly as that, but
no,
do you think getting Shaun Higgins is the right move?
Probably, Ben. With those decisions, you got to work out what you're going to give up to get Shaun Higgins.
Let's just forget about what you've got to give up.
No, you can't.
But do you think Shaun Higgins will make a difference?
Oh, absolutely.
They're getting him to push them over the hump.
Absolutely, he will. In that third quarter, they got beaten between the high half forward area and the midfield. Shaun is a class player. And the other thing to take into account, that sometimes there's a lot of misinformation that gets out there. The average AFL player plays less than 40 games. So if Shaun Higgins turns up and plays 2 years for the Cats, and they play in 2 grand finals and win one, wow, he's overstayed the average. And if you can get it, and they'll get Jeremy Cameron. What's he? 26 years of age. 7. He's in the top echelon of the AFL play, and that's the way they do it. And absolutely. And Geelong don't get they got 3 in the first round. They're late. It's just you really can't argue with it. 1 quarter of footy's cost them the ultimate.
Let's have a look at the Geelong 22 tonight, Benny. We know Ablett won't be there. The big question is who's still in that best 22 come round one. And there's no guarantee that the other 21, we think Harry Taylor's not going on. What do the club do with Lockie Henderson?
Look, some of those decisions, Kingy, would have already been made.
Yep. Especially because, and I say this, Newty, because a couple of things. I know we have a quick turnaround in terms of trade week. Trade week starts Friday.
Yeah, they do. But remember, the people that coached that game and played in that game, that's not their...
No, Stephen Wells and Troy
There's people
Selwood
that have been working on...
Yep.
So Stephen Wells has been working on this upcoming draft for 3 years.
But it's a very quick turnaround. Because, as Gil said to us earlier today, they want to start traditional late March.
But it's not But my point is that Stephen Wells and his group, which is a department within a high-performing organisation, they didn't find that information out today.
No, true.
They've known that for a long time, and they'll be ready, and they will know exactly clearly they've offered Jeremy Cameron a contract. Yep. They will know now. They would have known 2 weeks ago whether or not GWS they think will match it, and they will have the matching trade if they think GWS is going to match the offer. So that's already done, and they would have known they'll give up nothing for Sean Higgins. We pick 120, and that's the philosophy of the club.
They're hoping to speak with somebody from the Cats. The celebrations continue for the Tigers. Media conferences will come, so I think we will take some of Chris Scott's media conference depending on whether they make a player available or not, to see how that clashes. But Benny, we've got the Twitter sphere fired up. We're happy to take your calls too, Cat fans. 52-232-955. Give us your thoughts on tonight. Keep them G-rated. I know some of you will be frustrated and there'll be a lot of emotion among Cat fans, but if you can control those emotions. But we're happy to hear from you. 52-232-955. But what are they saying on the KFC Twitter, Benny, at K-Rock Football?
Well, Daz Broncos.
We're keeping you awake, Benny.
I just had a little involuntary spasm there, Kingy. Daz Broncos, who's been listening from over there, suggests Tigers had several gears and we did not have enough to go with them. Hope the loss burns deep in the guts of the bottom 16 players and educates them on what is needed to win. 3 times round one picks, Cameron and Gabs and Cooper Stevens, etc. There is hope out there, just sucks right now. So, well said from Daz, all the way over there from America. It's Andrew Daly.
I feel sorry for Daz, because it's very early in the morning there.
It's probably going to go to work.
I was going to say Sunrise is probably not too far away. Yeah, I know. Oh, but he works any day of the week with what he does.
He's got Saturdays off, I think.
Sunrise.
He's pulled rank.
Sunrise is probably not too far away.
He's not a work experience kid pulling the buttons.
John's joined us on the line. John, thanks for your call.
Hey, boys. The reason why Chris Scott is a good coach and not a great coach is that he should have had the courage to take Ablett off the ground and sit him on the bench. Simple as that. Simple as that.
They're probably, they're one short then, John, but look, there's probably that second half will get dissected, and some have already questioned off the KFC Twitter about Dangerfield spending a lot of his time up forward. I think he only had 3 or 4 touches after half time. Ablett still had an influence. It's probably not as easy. Geelong, I'm not sure taking Gary Ablett off. They got outscored 10 goals to 2, so there was plenty of problems. They just couldn't in the second half. 9 goals to 2 is a pantsing.
Catherine has joined us on the line. Catherine, thanks for your call.
Yeah, good evening. I'm glad that they made the grand final, but I'm disappointed that they lost. I want to know how come every time we play Richmond, we only play half a game. And then we lose. Like last year in the prelim, we've done the same thing. We were up at half time, and then all of a sudden we don't play the second half for some reason.
Well, Mark Neal will answer that question for you, Catherine.
Catherine, look, that says more about Richmond than it does about Geelong. Richmond are an unbelievable team. Their depth of talent and depth of class is greater than the Cats, and that's a fact. Geelong, in their last couple of outings against Richmond, they can stay with them for a half. Tonight, they certainly stayed with them for 3 quarters. Geelong have come up against one of the greatest sides of the modern era. They've just won their 3rd premiership in 4 years, and a quarter time they were a point behind. The reality is that Richmond have a depth of class that no other club has. So I think Geelong have done a wonderful job to make the grand final, and it hurts like hell. And there will be no one hurting any more than the players and the coaching group themselves. They've done an amazing effort, and the reality is Richmond were too good, and I think it says more about the Tigers than the Cats. But it's a good observation, Catherine, that Geelong have the talent to go a certain distance with Richmond at the moment when they play their best, but they can't go all the way.
The thing with Richmond too, not going anywhere in a hurry.
No, well, no, they maybe not. It is quite interesting, Kingy. I think for me, one of the things that, Richmond had their troubles in the, what do they call it, in the bubble, in the hub or whatever. They had players sent home for misdemeanors, and
Callum Coleman-Jones and Sydney Stack.
You used to hear that they were brothers and all this sort of stuff. They've got the best players, Tom, and they play well because they are actually the best players, and they've got them in a system. They're happy to accept the roles that they have. That goes a long way. You go through the draft and you see some of their top-end picks. They can play. They can seriously play, and that's... Dustin Martin's a freak show. He's a top 10 pick. Trent Cotchin now, it deserves to be spoken about as one of the greatest captains of all time. Captain 3 premierships in 4 years, top 10 pick. Revolt was a high-end draft pick. Riol is a high-end draft pick. These guys are quality players, and that's footy at the top end. And that's why I think Geelong, the way that organisation has put together an outstanding team of players who don't have the depth of class and talent as Richmond, and to be with them at three-quarter time is a bloody good effort. Let's hope that Jeremy Cameron does turn up and Sean Higgins does turn up and whoever else they go after, and we get some improvement from some of the younger players. And they'll learn from this. The young ones will remember what they went through in the hub and on grand final day. It's tough work.
Just getting word that we'll be speaking with Mitch Duncan in just a moment for a couple of words from the Geelong rooms, and we'll get Matty to get onto that very, very shortly. Matty doing a power of work back at K-Rock HQ. He will just dial into Mitch Duncan and we'll have a chat to the number 22, who was very, very good for the Cats tonight. Geelong's best or Stewart tonight, Neely?
Either or. Top of the con. I think Mitch Duncan was terrific. And he was in it, I think, for the majority of the game. Tom Stewart, he played an exceptional game. Minagola wasn't too bad either.
Marine World down in the Geelong rooms at the Gabba. Mitch, Kingy, Benny Cass and Neildy joining you from the K-Rock Hub. Firstly, our commiserations to the Geelong Football Club but a wonderful season. But I suppose the cold light of day hasn't come yet, and you can reflect on how good the Cats were this year. Can you take us into just, I suppose, the hurt you're feeling right now?
Yeah, it's obviously disappointing. I'm so proud of the group for what we've done this year. That's first and foremost, but obviously the result's disappointing. I feel like we probably had control of the game there for the first half. Got overpowered in the end by a really good team that we respect really highly, and we aspire to be.
Mitch, the 22-point lead you had in the second quarter, it's Richmond. You're just never comfortable, are you? You can control a game of footy, but it can turn on a dime in the matter of seconds. And it was Dusty who turned it with that late goal in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's an unbelievable player. It's his ability to finish as well. Under any circumstances. That's why it's going to be one of the all-timers. So. Yeah, but as you said, we had a lead there, and you definitely never take that lead for granted, because when you're playing a team like Richmond, there's no doubt about it. They can score really quickly. Great team, great organisation. So yeah, unfortunately, let them score, but we'll take obviously a lot out of it. Keep building.
Mitch, it's Benny Cass. Thanks for joining us on K-Rock Footy. We'll make it short and sweet for you. You mentioned there that you had control, and we were watching, obviously, and it seemed like you had control in that first half, and it slipped so quickly. It was out there. What was your sort of feeling in the third quarter? Even though you went at three-quarter time and the game was still alive, they really made that big surge in the third quarter.
Yeah, they did. Being so close to the game, can't really put me finger on it. I think we probably gifted them a couple of goals early in that third, through a couple of mistakes, but then that obviously gets their confidence up and now it's down. So just about staying in the moment and take each contest as it comes. They probably start getting on top around the footy where we'll probably tough. So it's very true that.
Mitch, we've got a bit of a scratchy line to you down there. Mitch, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
You can hear us. You're a little bit scratchy, that's okay. You got to play with Gary Ablett 8 times in your first season in the AFL, and he departed at the end of that. But how much have you enjoyed the last 3 years being able to play with one of the all-time greats?
Yeah, I'll enjoy telling people that I've played with. That's for sure. He's an awesome mate, and not just a good footy player, a good person. Puts the team first, and puts his knowledge on the game to our young kids and even our older guys. It's he's a weapon. It's a privilege to be able to play with him and be in his presence. So, very, very, obviously humbled to play with a player like that.
Yeah. Has Harry Taylor given any indication what his future holds to the group?
No, I have no idea, to be honest. Not sure where that's at, and they'll pay out over the next, time will tell. I'm not 100% sure there.
Mitch Nealdy, mate, no question from me. Just a big thank you. Thank you for everything yourself and your teammates and your club have done. I can't. Just such a big tick for your character and your club's character that they've put you up to speak after the grand final. You can speak to all the Geelong listeners that are listening to us. So, look, mate, what you guys have done over the last 100 or so days for everyone back here and given us pretty much one of the rides of our lives to be able to get to three-quarter time in a grand final, and you're right, in it up to your eyeballs. It didn't go your way tonight, and commiserations from all of us, but a massive thank you from everyone here at K-Rock, and I'm sure those sentiments will be echoed by all the Geelong fans that are listening. Mate, go back, commiserate, do what you got to do, and we'll see you next season. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nealdy. Thanks, boys.
No worries, Mitch. Good to talk to you, Mitch. Take care, and please pass on our regards to Gary and Joel and the crew, and we look forward to seeing you all at some stage. I know best and fairest on Thursday night, but at some stage we'll be able to cross paths and say hello again. It's been a long time, and we really appreciate your time tonight, Mitch. Commiserations, and we can't wait for 2021.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Mitch Duncan joining us there from down in the vanquished Geelong rooms.
It's very good. That's one of the hardest things I think you can do as a professional athlete, and that's just the respect that the club and people like Mitch hold our listeners and their supporters in is absolutely outstanding, and he spoke very, very well.
Fifth quarter for Signature Homes and City to Surf Solar. Signature Homes, an award-winning Geelong builder specialising in custom design homes, $400,000 to $1 million. What we'll do is we'll take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to wrap things up for season 2021. We've got our Hamlin Hanger. Got our head-to-head for Geelong Insurance Brokers, our Steamatic standout, the goal of the day for APCO service stations, and a few thank yous for season 2020 as well. But, of course, the Cats unfortunately falling tonight by 31 points to the Tigers in the 2020 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Richmond 12-9-81, Geelong 7-8-50. Thanks to Warra Lily, our number one ticket holder. Live in Geelong's most awarded community. Live, breathe, K-Rock football.